unbelievable marriage proposals in the history of taking a knee. Tonight, Ian Johnson goes for the record in the WAC for most rushing touchdowns. Ironically, in the house that Marshall Falk and LaDainian Tomlinson built. Talking to him prior to the game, he says, all that stuff's great, and had a great run at Boise State, but tonight, it's all about going out as a winner. Reese?
All right, Todd, we'll see if there's a marriage proposal in the offing tonight if Boise State has a winning score. Don't forget, it is Interactive Tuesday. You can participate. Log on to ESPN.com, search Interactive, follow all of the instructions. You can leave your comments. You can text messages. Text to CFB to 43776 to get started, and we'll roll all of your answers across the screen. We'll have the voice of the fan coming up in just a little bit. And our first question of the night, just to get you started. Who's going to win the Boise State-TCU game? Log on to ESPN.com. Search Interactive. We'll see what you think a little bit later on. And we're also going to hear from you. Call 1-800-269-0213 to tell us who's going to win and why. TCU won the toss. They deferred to the second half, and Drew Combs will be the straight-ahead kickoff man. Drew Bourne, with his left arm in and just below his elbow, has been a good kickoff man for Boise State. And trickeration right out of the gate. Ian Johnson fell down, and Vinny Peretta threw it to him, and Johnson bolting up the sideline, and he stopped just short of midfield and right out of the gate. Boise showing, as they like to call it, the funk.
And not only that, the gadget plays, not the trick plays, but Coach Chris Peterson coming right off the bat, coming right out of the gates with a play like this to get his team fired up.
But it's just the way. Watch how he will lay down on the ground. It's the execution in addition to the theory about it. Very well done. Gets him off to a great start.
And Johnson, not normally a kickoff man, and while his role on the offense has diminished somewhat this year, he has been an important part of special teams, as you see his wife, Chrissy, who has delayed finishing her education as Ian finishes his football career. Kellen Moore, the quarterback for Boise State's first play from scrimmage. You'll see a lot of motion and movement in the Bronco offense. Moore's first pass of the night is complete to Jeremy Childs. Childs knocked down by Raphael Priest. Moore, as you met in the open, is a redshirt freshman from Prosser, Washington. He is the WAC Freshman of the Year, ranked 10th in the nation in passing efficiency. He has been unflappable and thrown for 3,264 yards in his first season. He started at Boise State. His second pass is also complete, firing it in at number 82, Julian Hawkins. Our impact players, we've already seen a big impact from Ian Johnson. We'll also see a lot from Jeremy Avery.
They're very talented running back, only a sophomore.
And Peretta's had an impact in this game as well. He threw the backward pass from the opening kickoff. Kyle Wilson also big on special teams and a standout defensive back for the Broncos. Ian Johnson gets his first carry from scrimmage on the night. James Bess, senior defensive tackle from Fort Worth, making the stop. Chris Peterson finishing off a terrific third season as the Bronco head coach. His team looking at a 2nd and 9. Moore again. Looking for Hawkins again. Sure tackle by Stephen Coleman.
Coach, I like the way that they approach the game, Boise State's offense, the frenetic pace to come out and keep rolling, keep putting pressure on the TCU defense.
But they also have scripted the first 12 plays, and they ran a fake reverse. Setting up a reverse we'll see a little bit later in the game.
But as a player, you like those first 12 plays scripted. The reason why is because you practice them, you know what to expect by the defense. You feel confident and comfortable in those plays.
And here is a third down situation for Moore, who gets pretty good protection, throws it to Avery out of the backfield underneath. He's inside the 30, enough for a first down, and the Boise State opening drive continues to move.
You look what this offensive line has to do. Keeping Jerry Hughes off the quarterback right there, that's just enough. You look at the freshman tackle, Nate Potter, doing a good job of keeping away just long enough. So quarterback, Kellen Moore.
I believe we have a false start. TCU wanted to make sure defensively that they were successful on first down, and a penalty making it 1st and 15 will enhance the Frogs' opportunity to do that.
And that's what always hurts a drive. Coming out and you get a penalty, you're moving the ball, you're setting the tempo, you're moving the pace of the offense, and a penalty sets you back.
The TCU defense has been stellar. They lead the nation in rush defense. They're second in total defense and in scoring. Now the fake reverse to Peretta. Moore's going vertical. right into coverage, and Jeremy Childs was the intended receiver, and Nick Sanders was all over it.
What they tried to do on that one, Mark, was fake to the tailback, run him down the sideline, hoping to catch him in man-to-man coverage, which they did. But TCU defended very well. His only option was to throw into double coverage.
And that was fabulous coverage by Nick Sanders. He wasn't going for the fakes. He was making sure he was taking care of his responsibilities. Forget the fakes. He knows the wide receiver is going down the post pattern. Just stay with him, and the safety comes over the top lane.
Boisie started in the no huddle, but now coming out of the huddle. Bunch formation to Moore's right. Here's Peretta, the inside handoff and the end around, and Peretta finds a little bit of running room, and then he is greeted rudely. Big time hit by T.J. Johnson. Johnson, one of the 5 defensive backs that Patterson employs in this 4-2-5 type of defense that they run. It's a little bit unique, Lou, in the way that they approach it in terms of the number of blitzes and the way, the multiple things that they can do out of this defense.
Well, one year they're number 1 in the country on defense. They blitz 40% of the time. The following year they're number 1 in the country on total defense. They only blitz 6% of the time. So they mix it up.
3rd and long. Now facing the redshirt freshman quarterback. Moore getting some heat and flushed. Gets rid of it, and a lot of traffic down there. The flag is going to fly. Not sure the pass is catchable, but Boisie State might be getting a break here if it's interference on TCU.
Also, this was a
Go ahead, Coach. Raphael Priest was the guilty party.
This was a very questionable call. I thought it was incidental contact, but then again, that's why I'm up here.
I thought it was uncatchable. I didn't think there's a chance in the world that he's going to catch the football.
Here you're going to see it.
Look at that. Where's he going to catch the football? Not a chance.
I mean, he didn't really push it, but then again, that's called. You'll notice Boise State is doing a lot of formation, shift in motion. They're trying to say to TCU, are you smart enough to cover all the different intangible things we're trying to do?
And here comes Boise State into the red zone. First trip tonight. They score over 80% of the time. Touchdowns about 64%. Again, it's Peretta. A lot of motion being shown. Peretta's inside the 15 before he's knocked down by Johnson.
How'd you like to be one of these safeties for TCU? Stephen Hodge, Stephen Coleman, that are out there looking at this offense, and all these guys going left and right and faking the ball and then getting the ball and then it's thrown out of the backfield or it's thrown out of the backfield. It's very confusing. You have to keep your head on a swivel and make sure that you recognize and stay with your responsibilities.
Absolutely. The thing you like doing defense, all that motion, adjust your chin strap and go attack them.
Last night in the defensive meetings, Gary Patterson, Dick Bumpus exhorted the troops, keep your eyes where they're supposed to be. Don't be deceived by all of the motion. More fakes from Moore. Throwing it out in the flat, and he had it right on the hands of Tommy Gallarda, and he couldn't hang on to it. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. It is Interactive Tuesday. Our first poll question of the night was a simple one. Which team will win the Boise State TCU game? And right now, over 59% favoring the Broncos. And based on early returns of this early offensive drive, perhaps that's impacting the vote.
A lot of people in the state of Idaho with those storms going through that are sitting there watching this football game in front of their computers.
Here comes the 10th play of the drive. Moore getting heat, gets rid of it in a hurry, and the TCU defense rises up. The pressure coming on a blitz from the middle linebacker, Jason Phillips, their leading tackler, the senior out of Waller, Texas.
And this is what TCU has to do. Defensive coordinator Dick Bumpus has to make sure that they take Kellen Moore out of his comfort zone. Make him move out of the pocket when he doesn't want to move out of the pocket, coach, and not be able to sit back and look at his first, second, and third reads.
And they're doing a fine job of it. They disrupted the rhythm, and only the pass interference enabled the drive to maintain.
Kyle Brotzman from 30 yards out to get Boise State on the board first, and he is true. And the Broncos, after this opening drive with a 3-0 lead for Chris Peterson's team, they started by setting the tone with what has become a staple of the Boise State program. A little trickeration. Peretta to Johnson, and it's set up the field goal drive.
Going to the game this weekend?
Yeah, I'm on the team.
Good one.
Get in here, son. Fake this, and everybody's going to know your name, Stevens.
It's Smith, sir.
Exactly.
No one cares who the kicker is until you need it. Kind of like car insurance. Are you in good hands?
I learned a new sign. Merry Christmas.
Save 25% on Bulova and selected fine watches at Kay, the #1 jewelry store in America.
Do you like it?
Every kiss begins with K.
2. Raise you 2.
All in. Thank you, gentlemen. Come to daddy.
Made with juicy white meat chicken McNuggets.
Oh. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, welcome. Chicken McNuggets?
Yes.
What's a party without the dip, right?
Case, there's something wrong with your eye.
One iris is a different color than the other, which happens occasionally when you're dealing with twins.
I'm an only child.
The co-writer of The Dark Knight.
Am I twin dead?
You would have had a brother. He died when you were both in the womb.
This is gonna sound crazy. I'm being haunted by something.
January 9th.
This thing is trying to use you as a doorway.
Witness the birth
How do I stop it?
of evil. The Unborn. Rated PG-13. Starts January 9th.
Whoa! Freshly made pasta.
Yeah?
Where'd that come from?
Made this myself.
Okay, give me some. You know, this could come up in your review. I'm just kidding, that's crazy. Maybe.
Made fresh from your desk. Cook it, strain it, mix it, love it. New Healthy Choice Fresh Mixers.
It's been a fine Sunday. You did a whole lot of yard work. Then you came in for a bowl of Campbell's chunky soup. Chicken noodle. Nothing like lean meat protein after 2 hours of mowing. Fill up on the good stuff.
Hope you're able to watch tonight's San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl in spectacular high definition. A colorful mix of orange and blue, purple and white, and a little bit of black mixed in for TCU. Boisie State took the opening kickoff and a trick play on the return out to midfield and drove down for a field goal for the game's first points. And now Bronzman kicks it away. TCU will have it for the first time tonight. Aaron Brown, running back, returning the kickoff. Brown second in the nation in kickoff returns, and he stopped just across the 25 at about the 27-yard line. Now TCU, despite having 2 losses, still ranked 11th in the BCS standings, thanks largely to the respect that they've garnered from a dominating defense. Second in the nation, led by Jerry Hughes, whom you've already seen, best since 2005 in their ranking spot at the moment. And the Frogs might well have been in a BCS game had it not been for a heartbreaking loss on the road at Utah, but still their 5th 10-win season in the last 7 years, and should they win this one tonight, it would be 4 11-win seasons in the past 6 campaigns. Andy Dalton throwing on the first play, and he short hops it for Jimmy Young. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Dalton, a 6'3", 210-pound sophomore from Katy, Texas. He's a versatile guy, and he's come on in the latter stages of the season, Mark.
He's done an outstanding job in the last 5 games of throwing the football, averaging over 245 yards a game and 11 touchdowns, Coach. I think he's really settled in throwing the football with this offense.
Well, he has, but he also has very good feet, and he's very mobile, unlike Colin Moore from Boise State.
Brown motioning out of the backfield, and Joseph Turner will have his carry for TCU. He gets up close to the 30-yard line. And he'll be knocked down. It'll bring up 3rd down. Impact players for the Horned Frogs tonight. Many of them coming on special teams and some on offense. Jeremy Curley's had a groin problem, so shortly after the BYU game, you'll see him in the Wild Frog formation. More from Hughes, and deservedly so. He's among the nation's leaders. And Darrell Washington starting at linebacker in place of Robert Henson, who came up short academically, but Washington viewed by Patterson as perhaps the best athlete on the entire team. First 3rd down situation of the night for the Horned Frogs. Dalton on the slant is knocked into the air and off the deflection, almost intercepted. Walter Bryant was the intended receiver, and the Frogs will have to punt.
And one of the things Boise State felt they had to do was force him into 3rd and long. They You're going to see a replay here. They just try to come in there. Very good defense. But TCU's averaging 35 minutes a game of ball possession, and that's because they're usually 3rd and 2nd or 3rd and 1, Mark.
Well, usually when they come up for a series, they run the ball, pound the ball. They came out on 1st down and threw the ball. It was incomplete, and it really took them out of their comfort zone.
Anson Kelton is the punter for TCU. He's a freshman. Kyle Wilson, a dangerous return man. 3 punts he has returned for touchdowns this year. And Wilson's not going much of anywhere this time. Return of about 2. Making the stop on special teams was Stephen Hodge. Boise State will have it for the 2nd time tonight. The Broncos are up by a field goal in San Diego.
It's that magical time of year. Get special offers on the 2009 C-Class with a powerful 3-liter V6 at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event now through January 2nd. There's never been a better time to get that Mercedes-Benz on your wish list.
Funny, he's knocking at the door and he wants to party.
That's insanium in the cranium, dog.
I'm laughing on the dark, abysmal inside.
Shake your funny makeup. Shake it. Shake it hard.
How would you say LOL? With a full keyboard, it's easier to text it how you'd say it. The Samsung Propel and Pantech Matrix. Only from AT&T.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. These Duracell batteries were given to the Mattel Children's Hospital, UCLA, because when it comes to kids and healing, you're not just powering a toy, you're powering a smile. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Quitting with Nicorette has never been cooler or brighter, thanks to the whitening power of new Nicorette White Ice Mint Gum, the stop-smoking gum that helps tackle cravings and whitens teeth as you use it. New Nicorette White Ice Mint. Experience a brighter way to quit.
ESPN College Football, the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl, is brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Poinsettia Bowl and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at mbusa.com.
Both of these teams are treating this as a business trip, but there was time for fun at the Miramar Speed Circuit. And you see the two teams had an elimination race. Andy Dalton hoping to continue to keep the offense in the fast track, which they were not in their opening drive. I understand when Boise State racing go-karts, they actually had to bring out the yellow flag because of the aggressive nature. Somebody went not through the wall, but under it, trying to find a way to dig the go-kart out. Second drive of the night, Kellen Moore throwing out into the flat to Doug Martin, the freshman, and TCU had that one all sniffed out. Making the stop was Stephen Hodge.
And that was an excellent job of Stephen Hodge. Open field, wrapping up, making sure the offensive player goes down. That's what Dick Bumpus, the defensive coordinator, preaches. If you're going to get in the open field, make sure that you wrap them up and then drive them into the dirt.
They're playing a lot of man coverage. When you play man coverage, you have to tackle well, and they've done that.
Moore getting heat from Hughes. He completes his pass to Richie Brockle out of the backfield. And Jason Phillips is showing the football, but I believe he grabbed it after Brockle was stopped. Phillips, the leader on that defense. Here's Hughes.
And this is what I love about Hughes. Look at the hands, the hand movement. He gets around the offensive tackle in that burst to take it around the turn. And that's what you have to do as a tackle. You have to continue to kick with that right leg and force him out. But what Hughes is able to do is use his hands to slap the tackle's hands down, gets around to the outside and pressures the quarterback.
Hughes following the pattern of many TCU pass rushers, and I think they're going to look at this and see if Phillips did indeed come up with the football before Brockle was down. But going back to Jerry Hughes, he was a running back primarily in high school. Upon his arrival at Fort Worth and discovering the jersey number 98 in his locker, he knew immediately where he was destined to play.
How can you be a running back and a kick return specialist in high school? All of a sudden you report to training camp, you're expecting number 22, 24, 98?
But that's...
TCU is challenging the ruling on the field that it was a completed pass and not a fumble.
That is why TCU's so good on defense, though, Mark. Here we're going to see a replay of it there.
It clearly was a completed pass. That might be TCU's football. Now remember, the evidence has to be indisputable, and you've got to look at Brock's knee to see if it was down. But it was bobbling just a hair.
That's why you have replay. They want to get it right. But getting back to the point of moving Hughes to defense, that's why they're so good on defense. They have speed. And where do you have speed in high school? You have it at the skilled people. You have it at the running backs, quarterback. You never have it in the offensive line.
What?
but that is why they're so good on defense. They run so well.
I think looking at this again, guys, I think this is going to be Boise State's football because, look, right here, the ball definitely, does he have possession?
His knee's down. Yeah, left knee's
then
down.
He pulls it out.
That's a good angle.
Right there.
His knee's down before Phillips can knock it free. And to your point of finding the speed, Phillips was a quarterback in high school and now manning the middle linebacker position for Patterson's defense.
Not only a quarterback, he was a great quarterback. Rushed for over 1,500 yards and threw for 1,400 in his high school, and he's in the defensive back. If I was recruiting him, he would be under the sun.
Oh, if you were recruiting him, you'd have put him at tight end and never threw the ball to him ever in his career.
I wished I'd have recruited you, Mark May.
Right
I want to tell you.
There's the knee down, and I think Brockle still has possession there, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But even if he doesn't, I'm not sure it's enough to overturn this. And as we wait for the final decision, we told you about TCU's season, how close they were to a BCS berth. And I believe we are ready now for the decision.
After further review, the receiver caught the ball, was down on the ground before the ball came loose. Therefore, it was not a fumble. TCU will be charged with a timeout.
Patterson will lose a timeout. Phillips frustrated by the call. And you heard the referee out of the Big 12, John Bible, making the call. And Phillips is a ferocious-looking guy. He was on the cover of some promotional of their media guide and also on some promotional posters, and he got the mean football look, and the photographer told him at one point, he said, that's the perfect shot if only we had a little blood. He said, you want blood? Went away, cut open the bridge of his nose, came back, had a little blood, and they had the perfect promotional poster for the TCU defense. Sort of like Mark does in his publicity pictures.
Easy.
On third down, Moore throwing out. He's got his man complete. Austin Pettis gets the first down, and Moore with a man in his face delivered a strike. Raphael Priest was beaten on the coverage, 19-yard pickup.
And, Coach, this is a fabulous job of Austin Pettis keeping his eyes on the ball and catching it with his fingertips. He's not catching it with his body, with his fingertips in his hands.
No, but TCU came with an all-out blitz, and the cornerback there just missed the ball.
And the first down, Peretta. And on the fly sweep looking action, Peretta gets inside the 40, a very short game.
And Vinny Peretta, if you're TCU's defense, wherever he moves in motions, make sure you've got a hat on him because he's their playmaker. He's going to run it, throw it, whatever.
No doubt. And talking to Coach before the game, he said the one thing that Boise State has to do is the receivers have to make some plays, and they are doing that so far, Mark.
Empty backfield for Moore. A false cadence to try to draw the TCU defense. Moore to throw again right down the middle, and he's got his man, and again it's Pettis. Pettis another first down to the 20-yard line, and the Broncos are on the move again. Another completion for 19 yards.
And that's a terrific play call and a terrific job of quarterback Kellen Moore reading the defense, getting the ball right in the middle of the field where he wanted to throw the ball to Pettis.
Moore showing some of that exuberance.
That is as exuberant as he gets. He's very calm, very collected. Play high school football for his dad, who was a coach.
His brother's a standout receiver who was recruited by most of the major powers on the West Coast, but he's coming to Boise State next year, making his commitment. There's Ian Johnson. Johnson running from the end zone. Touchdown, Boise State, and there is the record. He passes Marshall Falk for the most rushing touchdowns in WAC history, and Boise State's up 9-0. A 6-play, 64-yard drive. TCU averages giving up just under 11 points per game. If Kyle Brotzman's true on this extra point, Boise State will have nearly that total in 2 drives. The Broncos have come out to make a statement tonight. TCU has allowed only 6 touchdowns in the first quarter this year, 3 of those to Oklahoma. But Ian Johnson has one for Boise State tonight.
The 2009 Rose Bowl game, Penn State USC, New Year's Day on ABC.
See all the wonderful toys at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event now through January 2nd. Get special offers on the ML350 with a 5-star crash safety rating. There's never been a better time to get that Mercedes-Benz on your wish list.
This year, a Radio Shack associate suggested a GPS receiver for my husband. Later, the kids tried to find Santa with it. And amazingly, it took us to this small town where we found a great little diner.
Wasn't Christmas fun? Yeah.
Hot chocolate, kids.
The kids will never forget it. And it all began with the help I got at Radio Shack.
Everything worth listening to is now on Sirius. Right now, add the Best of XM to your Sirius subscription at Radio Shack.
At Kids Auto, after you buy, we supply the best after-sales service. Everyone needs a dependable, affordable vehicle. Start or rebuild your credit. All you need is a job, $199 cash or trade plus tax. Bad credit, no credit, bankruptcy, repossession. It doesn't matter. All credit apps accepted. Our 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty is the best in town, plus we service what we sell. There's no need to drive over town for selection, quality, or service. Our 3 locations are sure to have what you're looking for. See us now at Kids Auto.
The NBA is on TNT. An amazing season plays out on basketball's biggest night. Get action and drama on the court.
LeBron James sending a message.
And compelling analysis off the court, including the best studio show on television. It's the NBA on TNT all season long.
Brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota store. Visit buyatoyota.com for more information and special offers. Toyota, moving forward.
Ian Johnson with the first touchdown of the night, but it's certainly not the first of his illustrious career. Number 58 in his career for the Boise State Star in his final game. He passes Marshall Falk for the most in WAC history. So now sitting third on that list, LaDainian Tomlinson, who played at TCU and now plays in this stadium, San Diego Chargers, and Boise State has jumped all over the Horned Frogs, 10-0. Frogs will get it for the second time tonight. This is Stephen Hodge bringing it out of his own end zone. Hodge had a little bit of a crease and powers his way to about the 30-yard line. Good solid return. Johnson scoring the last touchdown for Boise State.
What we're going to see is he's off the line. He goes in motion. That takes a cornerback over here. They have nobody in the secondary, Mark.
And the key is right here off the 6-hole. Watch the tackle's going to turn Hughes out. This defensive tackle goes in, and watch the hole right there. No one fills it. Ian Johnson is off to the races.
Guys, I know it's early in a very long game, barely halfway through the first quarter. This TCU offense leads the nation in time of possession, over 35 minutes a game. That is part of their strong suit and repertoire. They put the ball on the ground on the zone read play. That's one of the reasons the defense is so effective. It's fresh. They've played a lot in the early going so far. But the main thing is that they were always in third and short yardage. Now they're already second down to 13. That's not the nature of their offense.
Their offense is definitely out of sync. Usually on first down, they're pounding their way, getting something going. Look at the time of possession. It's the opposite way in this football game. TCU has to make something happen fast offensively.
Emptying the backfield. Dalton going to run it on the quarterback draw. Dalton a little bit of room and gets part of the loss back on the first down fumble. It'll bring up third down. Ellis Powers there on the stop. And on third down this season, TCU converts 52% of the time. That's 8th in the nation. But, coaches, you've alluded to more of the 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 variety. Now it's 3rd and middling at 3rd and 5.
There's certain things that don't last. That's dogs that chase cars, pros that putt for pars, and coaches that have to call 3rd and 7s on a consistent basis.
This one a little bit shorter than 7. Patterson's offense needs a first down. Dalton firing out to the right side. He was looking for Curtis Clay. And Clay, they're going to call it incomplete. One official on the sideline said he caught it. The umpire coming in and saying that Clay did not get his hands under it. Now, they'll look at every play in the replay booth, but Patterson's already used his challenge. That one skipped. It appeared to be the proper call.
Looks like a catch to me.
Anything?
Great job of the receiver getting his hands under the ball.
There's a little bounce here, and the question is,
but his hands are underneath it. It looks like it hit his elbow. I think he did a great job of creating the football.
Take a look at further review.
Second time now. I think the question is, did it go through there?
I think it hit his elbow and it bounced back up to him.
That might have been what the umpire tonight saw. He came in, Richard Brown, and waved it incomplete. And we'll have our second official review of the evening. First one on a challenge by Patterson.
It did not hit the ground. I don't think that ball hit the ground. I think it was an outstanding job of the receiver getting his hands underneath the football, and he cradles it to his body. That angle you can't see. The other angle, you can see the ball bounces up, and he turns it back into him.
All I know is
right there, the ball does not hit the ground.
When I coached, they didn't have these reviews, and I always felt we were getting bad calls. Now, at least you get a...
Wait a second. We're in the studio. He said, I never got a bad call. I never argued with an official, never had an official in a headlock. No, that never happened. He never did that.
If I had him in a headlock, there was a reason, and we'll clarify that sometime. But you've got to get the call right. That's all you ask as a coach, is make the calls right.
And TCU, I'm not suggesting at all that they can't find a way to get back into the game, but to try to get some type of momentum, another 3 and out would not necessarily be healthy for the Horned Frogs. In the early going.
And they're not really built for that. This is a team that's built to run the football, control the clock, and take the lead. They're not really built to come from behind, and I think that's key for Gary Patterson. They've got to start moving the chains and make something happen offensively.
Well, Patterson's team had Boise State very well scouted, but one of the strong suits of this Bronco program and his coaching staff is the young offensive coordinator, Brian Harsin. Brian is in his early 30s right now, just 31 years old, and Harsin has been a coveted coaching commodity in some circles. He's a former backup quarterback at Boise State. What have you seen in the early going that they've done to break some tendencies to be able to take advantage of this TCU defense?
Well, I think all the motion has confused TCU just a little bit, and some of their trickeration plays has definitely put a new wrinkle on their offense that puts pressure on the defense. And if you look at the way that Kellen Moore has thrown the football, he's been very effective when he's been in the pocket.
Well, he has thrown and completed 70% of his passes this entire year. He's had a tremendous year. But the opening kickoff
it was a completed pass. The ball will be placed at the 42-yard line, first down.
Way to go, Eagle Eyes. Very nice call.
2 for 2 tonight.
You're on fire in the postseason.
We don't want to go that direction. I'll remind you of a couple of your predictions.
We'll get to that over the course of the evening, I'm sure. TCU had this initial first down of the night, and it was one that they sorely needed. Curtis Clay, the sophomore from Lockhart, Texas, getting that elbow underneath and perhaps invigorating the Horned Frog offense a bit. 5 wide receivers. Dalton has time, and he's got Ryan Christian. A running back by trade, but a good receiver out of the backfield. That's his 25th reception of the year. Ellis Powers there on the stop. Capital One Bowl Week continues tomorrow night on ESPN. Notre Dame tries to win a bowl game for the first time since the 1993 season and avoid back-to-back losing campaigns when they take on Hawaii in the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN tomorrow night, Christmas Eve, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. 89 different programs.
How many?
89 won a bowl game since Lou Holtz last led the Irish. to a victory and running room now for Aaron Brown. And boy, was he greeted rudely along the sidelines and stopped by the big hitter in the Boise State secondary, Jerron Johnson.
Now it's a terrific job of Jerron Johnson taking the proper angle. But what he does is he sends a message to the TCU offense that this Boise State defense will hit you. 23 against 23.
Johnson was ejected from the Oregon game earlier this season for a hit on Oregon receiver Ed Dixon that was deemed to be excessive. After the game, Johnson admitted he deserved a penalty. Didn't know about the ejection. It didn't appear to be that much helmet to helmet. And he had 15 tackles before he left, and he has not lost his aggressive nature. And all of a sudden, Dalton is starting to warm up. Another fine play by a Horned Frog receiver, Walter Bryant, working on Kyle Wilson. Let's check in now with Kevin Negandhi. Kevin?
Hey, Reese, Sports Center right now. The Yankees opening up the wallet again, shelling out $180 million to land Mark Teixeira. The deal for the first baseman, 8 years long. Teixeira will average $22.5 million a season. Next Sports Center after the game. Always stay current with ESPN News. Back to you guys in San Diego.
All right, Kevin, Wild Frog formation. Jeremy Curley taking the direct snap and giving it to Joseph Turner. And Curley is a weapon, both running the football and potentially we'll even see him throw it tonight. Curley absolutely destroyed the BYU defense with direct snap plays. They call it their Wild Frog formation, and he hasn't really been healthy since a few days following that BYU game. He injured a groin, but said to be over 90% healthy now. We expect to see a lot of him in that formation over the course of this game. That time enough to get TCU a first down. Dalton firing out to the side. It is Christian making the catch. Kyle Wilson on the stop. This is Interactive Tuesday. We asked you earlier who would win the game, Boise State and TCU. You voted overwhelmingly for Boise State. Now our next poll question. Do the Broncos deserve to be in a BCS bowl game? Simple yes or no. Log on to ESPN.com and search Interactive. Based on the undefeated season, what are your thoughts about this question, Coach?
I definitely believe that, and I believe that for the last several weeks. I think they're an impressive football team, and they did get to the BCS.
Well, where are these answers coming from? I sit next to you in studio the entire season. You did not say they deserved to be.
As I told you, Curley throwing for the end zone, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Johnson. He had a man out there, and Johnson was able to make the pick. The ball was slightly underthrown by Curley out of the Wild Frog, and it's a turnover, and Boise State stops the threat.
And sometimes you just get too cute offensively. You're moving the ball. You're getting first downs. You've got Andy Dalton at quarterback. You're at least going towards a score, and here you run one of the trick gadget plays with a quarterback, Curley, that is a wide receiver that really hasn't played a lot. I know he's got a strong arm, but there it just kills the drive.
And it's something that the TCU coaches told us last night to expect. They have confidence in Curley's arm. He hit 90 on the radar gun throwing a baseball, and perhaps at some point could play for the Horned Frog baseball team, but that one just a hair underthrown, and it led to the turnover.
I like offensive coordinators when they get to bowl games to pull out all the stops, all the trick plays, all the gadget plays, but you still have to play sound fundamental football. And I think when you're moving the football, continue to do what you're doing, particularly if you're behind.
There was a delay as Darrell Washington had to leave the game with an equipment problem, and immediately Boise State tries to answer. Complete pass to Jeremy Childs. Let's check in with Todd Harris.
All right, Reese. Well, her husband is now the leader of rushing touchdowns in the Western Athletic Conference. Welcome, Chrissy Johnson. And first of all, can you turn around just a second? Look at this. You can't buy that in just any sports shop right there. Chrissy, first of all, tell me a little about what Ian told you prior to tonight's game.
You know, he doesn't really say much usually, but he did say he was excited to see LT again. But other than that, not much.
Take us back to the most memorable drop to the knee when your husband proposed to you.
Oh, the good old proposal. You know, everyone always asks me, and I just always say that. I was so surprised. And one thing that I never told, though, is I was always looking for the ring tied on his football pants. I thought for sure they had to be there, so.
No ring, but you still said yes.
Yes. I got the ring at the hotel.
Now, what's the future hold for you? What is your husband hearing about as far as his prospects in the NFL?
You know, we hope he can go on to the next level. We're hoping to go train soon, so and I'm going to go with him all the way, so hopefully things work out.
Chrissy, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Reese.
Todd, Chrissy, thought Jerry Hughes jumping into the neutral zone for TCU or threw it downfield. This is going to step off 5 against the Horned Frogs, it appeared to me.
Offside, defense number 98. 5-yard penalty. Penalty yardage is sufficient for a first down.
So things not going well at the moment for Gary Patterson's team. 5-yard penalty, giving Boise State another first down. We just heard from Ian Johnson's wife, Chrissy, and it has been a different type of situation for the Broncos star. He is still the leading rusher on the team, averaging just over 61 yards per game. Mark, his role, in all honesty, has been diminished on offense for the most part. He's contributed on special teams, and we've seen that tonight as well.
He's become more of a team player, Coach. He'll do what's ever needed to help Boise State have success on the football field, whether it be special teams, catching the ball, no matter what it is, he's willing to help out.
Well, a couple years ago, he was a predominant ball carrier, and they said a prayer every time he carried the ball because they had nobody behind him. Now they have very talented running backs. Avery's is a very, very talented running back, and they have some other ones as well right behind him.
Doug Martin, who we've already seen tonight, is a talented young guy. Here is what Johnson did, scoring 25 touchdowns in 2006. That the year they defeated Oklahoma, and the production has gone down. He scored a touchdown tonight, the only one of the game so far. And Moore was looking again for Julian Hawkins, who's been busy. He couldn't hook up that time. It'll bring up a third down. Johnson breaking through a wide open hole and scoring the touchdown tonight.
And a fabulous job of following his blockers on that play for the score to break the record. But for Ian Johnson, very unselfish player. Puts the team first. He saw early in the season that this could be a special season with that victory at Oregon. And I think for a player like that, you need a nucleus of players like that if you want to have success.
No doubt. But his leadership has been tremendous. You talk to the coaches, they say he's all about team, all about winning.
Boise State showing a little action against the blitz, and it is a dump off to Ian Johnson and nothing doing. Matt Panfill coming from his defensive end position to make the stop, and finally the Horned Frog defense finds a way to slow down the Boise offense.
When you look at Boise State and the way that they play with such confidence. And it's not an arrogance, it's a confidence in the way they play. They're a very resilient football team. Nothing bothers them. If there's a bad play, they go to the sidelines, they try to correct their mistakes, come back out, and try to make it a positive play the next time.
Well, that's why when you've won 60 games, only lost 4 in the conference, that gives you that confidence. You expect good things to happen. And it doesn't matter who the opponent is, you have an air that we're going to find a way to win, and that's what Boise State has.
Kyle Broxman to punt it away to Jeremy Curley. Despite Curley's ability, TCU hasn't returned a punt for a touchdown in 85 games. Curley eludes the first tackler, will not elude the next one. And there to make the stop is Kyle Efong. Let's check in again with Kevin Nagandi.
All right, Reese, want to let everybody know that we have a couple of good basketball games going on over on ESPN2, Missouri taking on Illinois. And then on ESPNU, number 12, Xavier hosting Butler. And that's a close game right now. Xavier down by 4 with under 7 minutes to go in that game. Back to San Diego, guys.
All right, Kevin. Illinois, Bruce Weber saying earlier this year during football season, actually during the Illini game, he thinks that Illinois can compete for a Big Ten title. Joseph Turner has it for TCU, and he's got a first down across the 40.
Very nice blocking up front. This is the first time TCU's gotten the eye, a single back, and come off the ball was aggressive.
Yeah, but Coach, running it on first down. They've been coming out throwing it on first down. Do what they've always done that got them to this level, that got them to a bowl game and have success. Pound it on first down.
But at this stage, you're just trying to get a rhythm, find out what's going to work.
13-yard run for Turner. TCU keeps it on the ground. Pick up of a couple in what almost certainly will be the final play of the first quarter. Billy Wynn making the stop. Freshman from Las Vegas. So 1 quarter in the books, and it was all Broncos. Boise State up 10-0. They started with a little trickeration on the opening kickoff return. 1 touchdown from Ian Johnson, and it's the Horned Frogs in a hole after 1.
ABC, your NBA destination for a Christmas Day doubleheader.
No man is an island, is how a poet once put it. Well, we're certainly not poets. We're a credit union, San Diego County Credit Union. But what we do know about is that people growing together make a community. So here's a thought for this special time of the year. Community is all about giving. Through giving, we can all grow together. It's your hometown, it's ours too. San Diego County Credit Union.
Check out the hot bod. Keeps him fresh when he's feeling hot. You know he's got the hot bod. Give him a spray, B.O.D. Night and day, I want your bod. Bodman fragrance spray.
See all the wonderful toys at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event now through January 2nd. Get special offers on the ML350 with a 5-star crash safety rating. There's never been a better time to get that Mercedes-Benz on your wish list.
Something's going down. Could be big.
On December 25th, catch the Christmas spirit.
I'm on my way.
It's heart-pounding, mind-blowing, wild fun from the creator of 300 and Sin City. The Spirit. Rated PG-13 in theaters Christmas Day.
Navigation system activated. Oh, look. He went to Jared.
Excuse me?
What's in the bag, Dave?
A diamond necklace?
May I see it?
Can I just get directions, please?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
The Heart's Desire collection at Jared uses only ideal cut diamonds to best see the diamond's true inner fire.
Now, can we go?
Oh, Dave, you shouldn't have.
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Please drink responsibly.
Whoa. Excuse me.
Get your gamer the perfect gift. Gillette's most comfortable shave, Fusion Power, and a select EA Sports game, and get $10 back.
Seasonings greetings from your mates at Outback. Get a free $20 bonus card when you buy $100 in holiday gift cards.
What do I do?
This is lunch?
Yeah, I need you to talk me through it the first time.
You need me to talk you through add water, microwave, strain, and stir?
Whoa, what is that, Japanese?
Made fresh from your desk. Cook it, strain it, mix it, love it. New Healthy Choice Fresh Mixers.
Just about set for the second quarter in the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. First time this season the TCU has been shut out in the first quarter. Boise State dominating play. TCU with a second down throw. Ryan Christian with a reception and another big-time hit coming from Jerron Johnson. See what the Horned Frogs have done this season. They are a 200-200 team, fewer than 10 of those in the country in terms of balance on offense, but they are a run-heavy team, and they started out trying to pitch the ball around the lot, and so far they've been pretty balanced, though moving to the run after the pass was had limited success in the early going. Here's another third down, just a little option, and there's plenty of running room for a first down for Aaron Brown. TCU has a reputation for running option. Don't run it a lot, but it was effective there.
You don't have to run a lot. You just have to run it enough. It really causes the defense to be conservative. You're going to say, hey, we can't send that linebacker in that A-gap, or this is what's going to happen.
Well, I think if you look at Dalton, he did a terrific job of getting rid of that ball, making sure Aaron Brown caught it in a good place where you catch it with his hands on the run and take it down the field for the first down.
12-yard pickup on 3rd and 5. Frogs in Bronco territory for the second time tonight. An interception ended an earlier threat. Now with the Wild Frog formation, and now it's Dalton firing a dart, and he was looking for Antoine Hicks, the freshman, and just out of his reach.
Very well played once again by Jerron Johnson. He is having a tremendous game. Here you're going to see a replay of it again, Mark, where the safety man just comes over the middle.
I think he does a great job on it, but I think the TCU offensive line has done a fabulous job with pass protection so far and giving Andy Dalton a chance to make those throws. But I still go back to questionable calls on first down. Go back to the well, run the football. If you're going to run a pass, make it a play-action pass.
I agree with you completely, Mark. It's a game of getting first downs.
Coming motion, a little zone read look, and Dalton keeps it. A short gain. That'll bring up 3rd down and long. Johnson again on the tackle. It is Interactive Tuesday. We've encouraged you to get involved by logging on to ESPN.com. Does Boise State deserve to be in a BCS bowl game? Nearly 70% saying yes, obviously the state of Oklahoma respectfully disagrees.
They're voting on 2 years ago.
Don't want to see them again.
When Boise State upset them.
The question becomes level of competition in your conference, drawing power both in the stands and on television. It's all part of the equation in the current system. TCU tried the option to the left on 3rd down. George Iloka into the game, the freshman from Sugar Land, Texas, playing against a team from his home state, makes a stop. It'll bring up a 4th down for Patterson's team.
But they've got it where they could possibly go for it. Now they're on the 33-yard line, 4th down and 3. It would have been different had they thrown an incomplete pass. But once again, had they not thrown the ball, they'd be on 3rd down and 2.
Dalton coming to the sideline to get the instructions from Patterson. Here, their offensive coordinator, Mike Schultz. Now he's up against the play clock just a bit. It's inside 10 and getting toward 5. Jeremy Curley has it. Curley hitting the backfield, and the Broncos stop him. Ryan Winterswike with the play, and it's the Boise State defense that's making all the big plays so far.
And what a fabulous job of Ryan Winterswike of getting upfield and getting penetration to disrupt this running play.
So 4th down and 2. TCU gets -1. Winterswike making the stop. Curley the explosive threat, but he never had a chance. And the Broncos up 10-0 and in control in the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl.
It's a special time of year. Time to give the ones you love the power to own the road. Celebrate the season of Audi with over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio. And enjoy no payments at signing on select Audi models now through January 2nd.
That's the money you could be saving with Geico. What?
I know.
Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
In 2 days.
10 minutes. 1 for the checkpoint, 2 for the mug, 1 to the bunker, 6 to get out.
Only one movie will make your pulse pound and your palms sweat.
We've been discovered.
Tom Cruise, Valkyrie, rated PG-13, Thursday.
You know, Dex, you and I are a lot alike.
How so?
Well, I help people find things in places they never thought of looking.
I help businesses find customers in places they never thought they'd reach.
I find them in cracks, crevices.
I find them through my print directories, online at dexknows.com, even on huge search sites.
Once I find them,
you track and manage the data for even greater results?
Something like that.
Call 888-434-0112 to find out everything Dex can do to find your customers. Dex knows.
Check the sports fan and your family off your holiday gift buying list. Purchase a Denver Outlaws season ticket for just $99 and receive a limited edition full zip hoodie while supplies last. The Outlaws are the league's most competitive team, and your season ticket guarantees some of the best seats in the house at Invesco Field for 7 action-packed games, including the annual 4th of July game with the greatest fireworks show in town. For more information, call 303-OUTLAWS or visit DenverOutlaws.com.
Earlier during the trip to San Diego, the Boise State Broncos got a chance to visit SeaWorld and really had a show put on by the mammals there. This is perhaps another trick play we'll see from Chris Peterson's team later. During part of the show, one of the Dolphin handlers fell into the pool when apparently Kyle Wilson reacted by screaming for help. He thought it was real. Teammates giving him a hard time about the reaction to the show that they put on at SeaWorld and part of the trip. And boy, oh boy, did Kellen Moore get absolutely drilled by Stephen Hodge. It was a head-to-head hit. He was coming on a safety blitz.
Yeah, look at this. I don't think you can call this a penalty because look at the angle where the quarterback is. When he hits him, he's being tricked right there. He's trying to hit him in the chest. It's not really head-to-head. He hits him in the chest.
But leads with the crown of his helmet.
If that's not head-to-head, you need to see an optometrist.
He gets tripped at the line of scrimmage, losing his balance. He's flying to get to the quarterback. I honestly don't think that was malicious. I really don't.
No penalty was called, and Moore.
Apparently I was right again.
Incomplete.
Boy, what a tough young man to bounce up from that. I mean, I saw that hit and heard it all the way up here. And at my age, I don't hear real good either. It tells you how strong that was.
I always thought it was just a case of you not listening.
I have selective hearing, Reese. You hear what you want to hear.
Especially when it's me doing the talking.
No, with the guy on my right is.
TCU gets his 42nd sack of the year. They're second in the nation in that category. And Boisie State has been very good at protecting the passer, at least in terms of not giving up sacks. Moore actually helps them not give up sacks. That's an example of it right there. He got rid of it to Ian Johnson. Stephen Hodge, who laid the lick on Moore a couple of plays ago, was applying pressure again.
Mark, what a big series of down for the TCU defense. After getting stopped on 4th down, to come out and play that well has to be encouraging for them.
It definitely was for the momentum factor. They got the momentum back after not getting on 4th down. You're absolutely right, Coach.
TCU defense seems to have settled down a little bit. This is a group that is about 40-plus blitzes in its packages and at least 14 or 15 ready for this game. A couple of them worked on that occasion. And an excellent punt away from Curley by Kyle Brotzman. TCU had made it a point to try to catch the ball in the air, but Curley couldn't get to that one. Another spectacular play by the Broncos special team. 64 yards, puts the Horned Frog offense in a hole, but the defense is letting him hang in. Stephen Hodge delivering the big hit on Kellen Moore.
No man is an island, is how a poet once put it. Well, we're certainly not poets. We're a credit union, San Diego County Credit Union. But what we do know about is that people growing together make a community. So here's a thought for this special time of the year. Community is all about giving. Through giving, we can all grow together. It's your hometown, it's ours too. San Diego County Credit Union.
Come on, we're late. Move, people. Boss, we're 2 continents behind schedule.
Oh, hold your eggnog. I'm building my own Capital One credit card. I'll go with cash back and a jolly good rate.
But, sir, the reindeer are getting antsy.
Now I'm going to upload a photo from my beach house.
Mrs. Claus is a lucky woman, sir.
Yes, she is.
Personalize your card at Capital One Card Lab. Choose your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet? Let's roll.
Hope I don't miss work this Christmas.
Yeah, how will you pay for things like food, electricity?
Ooh, dental bills.
Gadzooks! You need a backup plan. That's why we have Aflac.
So I'll have cash to help pay bills.
Right, but what if you're still not better by Christmas?
Aflac! Aflac. Ask about it at work. Rudolph's better. But now Blitzen's sick.
I've made lots of faces, but none of them have ever stuck. And if my mom was lying about that, then maybe I can go swimming after eating all that cheese.
When you don't have to think about your hair, your mind is free to wander. Advanced Head & Shoulders. Respect the scalp. Get the hair.
It's been a fine Sunday. You did a whole lot of yard work. Then you came in for a bowl of Campbell's chunky soup. Chicken noodle. Nothing like lean meat protein after 2 hours of mowing. Fill up on the good stuff.
ESPN College Football, the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl, is brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Poinsettia Bowl and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Capital One Card Lab at CapitalOne.com. What's in your wallet? And by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Either Mark or Lou were the choices to speak at this lunch today, but after we put all of the formula into the BCS system, I came out of it on top. That was when both TCU and Boisie State decided that the BCS was really out to get them. Wound up at the luncheon. TCU, after the great punt by Brotzman, back up in their own end, and Dalton barely avoided the sack in the end zone, and Bryant was all by himself, and I think that he was concerned about the sideline, and he just couldn't haul it in.
And he gets crunched at the end of this play, but this is a great call. And if you look at Andy Dalton here, it's a nice call. Right here, there's a fake to the back. He's got time, but he gets popped.
Yep, but the receiver's so wide open, he's going to break out and stop and then break up. If you're going to get hit, complete it anyway.
He stopped on it, and that play, somewhat reminiscent of a couple of plays in the Utah game in which Bryant at one point caught a pass and came down out of bounds when he had a lot of room. It ultimately stopped the Frogs from a scoring opportunity, and another one was overthrown in the end zone. Reese Davis, Lou Holtz, Martin May here, Todd Harris down on the sideline, San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl, and I'm glad that from that luncheon, which by the way, my luggage was lost. That's why I had on the Bob Knight attire with the sweater. But, you know, I'm glad you guys didn't hear the other things I said about you later on.
We read about it, Mark.
You know, Coach, when you want to go to appearance and you don't have your clothes that you really want, you always say that your luggage is lost and you really don't feel like going back to the hotel and showering and changing before you go to the event.
You saw Dalton hit Bryant for a first down there. Is that what it was? Yeah.
I would love to
bus over me again.
But I wasn't invited. Were you invited?
I wasn't invited either.
That's
they wanted the top dog there.
Why did you say negative things about us?
Yeah, all the good things you say about you all the time.
I didn't really say negative things.
They just weren't positive.
I do plead guilty to having fun at your expense. But that's what happens when you don't show up. All right, Christian out of the backfield. Christian has a little running room, and it's another first down for TCU, and they've gotten out of the shadow of their own goalpost, and they're on the move now, Todd.
And Reese, it's amazing what a little momentum will do to the body language. Prior to that last series with the defense for TCU, the body language, the attitude, players visibly frustrated with one another, walking up and down the sideline pacing. And Coach Gary Patterson took a very special interest in the linebacking core, coming over there and wishing them a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays if they wouldn't start playing a little bit better. Reese?
Are you saying it wasn't exactly Santa G-rated language?
It was not Disney friendly.
Aaron Brown is loose. Brown inside the 40, still on his feet at the 35 and knocked down at the 31.
It's amazing. We've all seen this. One great hit changes a game. Maybe the hit on the quarterback, Mark.
An injured player for Boise State. Just across midfield, and Brown had a 26-yard run. Excellent individual effort. He escaped Billy Wynn initially and then was off to the races.
But it's tremendous balance by Brown on this play. And Aaron Brown, he's got great vision, done a terrific job running the ball over 440 yards this season. But what a fabulous run for TCU.
He made 4 guys miss and can't quite get the number. There we go, 90. It is Wynn who is down on the play. He was the first guy to miss Brown coming out of the backfield, and the freshman from Las Vegas has played in all 12 games this year. Wynn is a guy who sort of developed into an athlete. He was a self-proclaimed chubby kid who sat on the couch. Why
are you looking at me?
He arrived, I didn't. He arrived at high school in Las Vegas, 6 feet, 305 pounds. He's now 6'4", 282. He now has a more svelte, sculpted body, and there's certainly very high hopes for his future here at Boise State as he is helped to the sideline. Boise State with a 10-0 lead as part of Capital One Bowl Week, and of course it will roll on through the new year. The Motor City Bowl, Florida Atlantic and Central Michigan coming up Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Two of the country's most unheralded quarterbacks, but most dangerous ones, Rusty Smith, Dan Lefevre. Lefevre of the Chippewas, Smith playing for Howard Schnellenberger's Owls. Part of Capital One Bowl Week, Friday night, 7:30 Eastern time. Our buddy Todd's going to be calling that game. Guys, we saw Florida Atlantic during that 1-5 start. In fact, 1-5, and I don't think any of us would have given a nickel for their chances to make a bowl after we watched them play Troy there.
No, not at all. And Howard Schnellenberger's done a terrific job of turning that football team around, particularly their attitude and getting them to want to play football and to want to play winning football.
Aaron Brown looking for more running room on the right side, and this time he got nothing and liked it. Jerron Johnson with yet another tackle for the Broncos. This Jerron Johnson has a nose for the ball.
Oh, he's having a tremendous game. Whether the ball's being thrown or run, he not only hits you, he hits you hard and wraps you up very decisively. He has great vision, great instincts, Mark.
He definitely does. He's a sideline-to-sideline player, and he'll make you take notice of some of those hits.
And people who like those vicious type of hits have been known to go onto the internet and search Deron Johnson, and a plethora of hits will come up on YouTube. Joseph Turner in the back there. Turner's got a little room. Guess who's there to make the stop again? Johnson.
What amazes you, though, is Boise State's pretty fast on defense, Mark. They run very, very well.
They definitely do, but here's the key to look for towards the second half of this football game, because Boise State's defensive front's very thin at the defensive end position. And with that injury now to Billy Wynn, watch the offensive line and the offensive TCU try to pound them in the second half and later on in the second quarter.
Seventh play of the drive started at their own 7-yard line. On third down tonight, TCU's 3 for 5. Dalton. Oh, it's picked off! Andy Dalton's intercepted. Byron Hout. The freshman is rumbling. One more man to beat. Byron Hout with a tremendous play, and Boise State's defense rises up again.
And after saying they were thin on the defensive line, well, the defensive line comes up with a huge play, and the freshman does a fabulous job. But for TCU, this just takes away all their momentum right now. That's a bad pass by Andy Dalton.
It definitely was, and he's just not having the best game, and he's going to have to get on track, or TCU is going to be in serious trouble.
How about the freshman with a spin move there? That's a running back move, Coach.
And Hout is in the lineup because of an injury to Mike T. Williams, the senior. Williams was injured in the Fresno State game. Hout stepping in as a freshman. A 6'1", 225-pounder makes a huge play, and Boise State already in control has an opportunity to really put the Frogs even deeper as Johnson stopped on first down. They're already in control, guys. They punched this in for a touchdown, and the Frogs are in a lot of trouble.
They definitely are. I think this is a huge series for TCU. They've got to find a way to hold this to a field goal attempt, make this a competitive game before it gets out of hand.
TCU's used to winning. Even if they give up a touchdown, you win at halftime, you get regrouped, and they have played fairly well, except Boise State has made about 4 or 5 big plays, and TCU has not.
2 interceptions. Coretta coming on the end around, and TCU knows when that's coming. When Coretta lines up in that formation, they know that reverse action's coming. Stephen Hodge is there to snuff it out.
Coach, this is a terrific job of reading this trick play by Stephen Hodge. He knows where it's coming. He's going to stay where he's supposed to be in his contain and make sure he reads the play, and he does a fabulous job of doing it.
Boise State, what they've done so far, they've started very well on offense, but they've punted in their last 2 possessions. But the interception by Hout has given them tremendous field position. Started this drive in the red zone, but they've promptly thrown it in reverse the first 2 plays. Moore gets it out of his hands to Childs. Childs inside the 10. Jeremy Childs. It's down to about the 6-yard line.
Very well executed. This is a middle screen that they throw to coming in, hoping they'd catch TCU in the blitz.
It was a nice game, but not enough for a first down. And under the circumstances, you can ask no more of the TCU defense than to force a Kyle Brotzman field goal attempt. He's hit 1 tonight, 15 of 23 on the year. This one will be from 24 yards out. Kenyon Bissell's the holder, so watch for the tricks. Play it straight this time, and Brotzman kicks it straight and true. And Peterson likely would have wanted more after that huge play by Hout. But Boise State will take the points. They're up 13-0, and who says the defensive lineman can't run? The pirouette is Hout led to the field goal.
Capital One Bowl Week continues through January 3rd on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC.
The holidays just got more exciting. Celebrate the season of Audi with over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio. And enjoy no payments at signing on select Audi models now through January 2nd.
I'm poolside with John Graham, MVP of the Graham Honeymoon. John, what was the key for you this week?
Wow, I just really wanted to come out here and play my game, get the latest info on my fantasy players, then set my roster for total domination.
Can you describe your emotion?
Excited, proud, stuffed. Both days pretty robust.
Okay, back to you guys in the studio.
Be an ESPN MVP. Manage your fantasy teams, get live GameCast, exclusive commentary, and more with VCast, only from America's most entertaining network, Verizon Wireless.
The biggest event of the year is now even bigger. The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is here, and we're going above and beyond to bring you the deal of all deals on your favorite Toyotas. Now get 0% APR financing on a Toyota Tacoma, or get $3,500 cash back on the Toyota Tundra. It's your last chance of the year to get amazing deals, so hurry to the Toyotathon of Toyotathons today. Only at these neighborhood Toyota stores.
Lithia Motors Giant Pick and Peel Sale. Going on now at Lithia Dodge of Cherry Creek and Lithia Colorado Chrysler Jeep. Every vehicle in stock is marked with big savings. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Just stop by the dealership. 2. Pick out your favorite vehicle. 3. Peel back and reveal the amazing low price. Like a new 08 Dodge Ram 3500 Mega Cab Turbo Diesel. Peel and peak discount $16,000 off MSRP. Or choose a new 08 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. Peel and peak price just $19,900 at Lithia Dodge of Cherry Creek and Lithia Colorado Chrysler Jeep, both on Havana.
There is Byron Houdt, the freshman from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, the Idaho State High School Player of the Year, Gatorade Player of the Year last year, and sending out the shout-out after his interception led to a field goal. It is Interactive Tuesday. We want you to participate. Log on to ESPN.com, search Interactive. You can follow all the instructions on how to vote on our instant poll questions. You can leave comments that we've seen scrolling across the screen, and you can also send text messages and also make your voice heard. Here's the next item up for bids, our poll question. Which team will win the BCS championship game, Florida or Oklahoma? You can log on to ESPN.com, search Interactive, and you can also give us a who and why on the phone lines. Call 1-800-269-0213 and leave your comments on the Florida-Oklahoma National Championship tilt in Miami. So Hout's big interception and spectacular run back. A true freshman set up the field goal, the second of the night for Kyle Brotzman. The TCU defense has done a very good job in keeping this score from getting out of hand, and now it's up to the offense to cash in on some drives. Brown fields it inside his 10. And Brown will be stopped short of the 20-yard line. Guys, the last 3 times that TCU has had the ball, they've driven inside the 35 of Boise State, but they had no points to show for it. Here is Billy Wynn, offensive lineman, another freshman from Las Vegas who was shaken up earlier, trying to run it off, and hopefully we'll see him back in the game a little bit later on.
And for TCU, they've got to get something out of this drive. Field goal, touchdown, find a way to manufacture points in this drive to get something going so they can get some type of momentum in the second half.
And go back to the option. Brown has it on the corner. Brown's got running room across the 30 where he's knocked out of bounds.
They've had success with that play, Coach, going with a pitch, going with the option on first down.
They have. They found a weakness on it. They executed very, very well. But the main thing you're doing as a coach, you're sitting there saying, hey, just get us into halftime without doing anything else to self-destruct ourselves.
Teron Johnson made the stop. He already has 8 solo tackles and a pick in the first half. He made the play on the Jeremy Curley pass earlier. 2 turnovers for TCU have heard, and Dalton gets that pass knocked down. He was looking for Shea Reagan. Ryan Winterswike had a 4th down stop with a tackle, makes a play there. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. Who is the WAC's all-time leading rusher?
I think I could take a crack at that, but I wouldn't want to give it away, Mark.
So?
Boisie. Okay. That's my guess.
All right, Buck Boisie. And the WAC star, Ryan Christian. Slips the tackle. Christian across the 45. He's got enough for a first down, and TCU's on the move again. Darrell Acree with the stop for the Broncos. Moving the last few drives hasn't really been the problem for the Horned Frogs. Scoring has been the issue.
And executing when they get close to the end zone, when they get close to the red zone, making sure they don't turn the ball over and make silly mistakes.
TCU has outgained Boise State 174-113, but the 2 interceptions have been huge. The Horned Frogs find themselves in a 13-point hole. Dalton keeps on the option, breaks the tackle, and gets into Boise territory.
Coach, they're doing a terrific job, as Reese said, of executing offensively, and I like them running the ball on first down because now it puts them in a good position to throw the ball deep on second down with play action. How about that guy? He ran the ball kind of effectively in his career, in college and in the NFL.
Yeah, I would say.
In this stadium.
He's got a huge game coming up in this stadium on Sunday. The Chargers and the Broncos in an AFC West championship game, the de facto AFC West championship game. If with any and the Chargers win it, they'll bounce back from a 4-8 start to go to the playoffs. Turner got the fake, and Dalton is stopped short of. He'll be close to the first down. Right, looks as if right now they're signaling third down. And I gave you a clue, and you didn't take the bait. Here's our Athletic Trivia answer. I know who it is. It's LT.
Damian Thomas.
5,263 yards because they're not in the conference anymore.
I just don't test real well.
But it was the verbal test. Typically, they score higher when you do that. First down, picked up by TCU to keep the drive alive as we wind down towards 4 minutes. And LT had a tremendous career at TCU when Dennis Franchione was the head coach. Gary Patterson was part of that staff on the defensive side of the ball. And Gary's done a great job engaging LT, keeping him involved in the program.
Well, all good coaches, or at least smart coaches, will get the former players, even though maybe you didn't coach them, to come back and become part of that university. It means so much to the former players, Mark.
Again, the option look, and this time Dalton's going to throw out of it. He wanted to go down the field. Nobody open. He dumps it off short to Aaron Brown. Pickup of just a couple. Bring up second. Looks like about 8.5.
TCU can score on a special play, Mark. You sit here. If they'll sprint to the right and throw back to the left corner of the end zone, it would be open.
Patterson's team. We'll see if you have the play call set. Give to Brown, and now it's going to be third and long for the Horned Frogs. It is Interactive Tuesday, our last poll question. We asked you, who do you think is going to win the BCS championship game, Florida or Oklahoma? Nearly 61% believing that the Gators will prevail.
Do you agree with that, Mark?
Yes, I do. I think Florida's defense is so improved this year from last year. I think they're one of the best defenses that Oklahoma will face, and probably the best defense that they'll face the entire season, man, for me.
TCU, one of its 2 losses this year, coming at the hands of the Sooners from Norman. The throw to Turner in the flat, absolutely nothing doing. Kyle Gang with the stop.
And that was a terrific job by the defensive coordinator of Boise State, Justin Wilcox, of making right decisions, not giving up anything big. And you look at that, Billy Wynn comes back into the game, and that's great to see for Boise State. But the bottom line is that was a terrific series of play calling defensively.
Very, very well. They don't give up the big play, and they're making TCU with a lot of minus yardage plays or no gain plays, which is totally unlike TCU's offense. They're more rhythm, 4 or 5 yards every play.
TCU has thrived with long offensive drives this season. Not necessarily a lot of explosion-type plays. A punt from Anson Kelton will pin Boise at the 15. Final 150 of the first half when you come back to San Diego.
It's a special time of year. Time to give the ones you love the power to own the road. Celebrate the season of Audi with over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio. And enjoy no payments at signing on select Audi models now through January 2nd.
My mother used to say, always keep your heart open. It's the only way to give and receive love. That's the inspiration behind my Open Hearts collection at Kay Jewelers. I worked with Kay because as the #1 jewelry store in America, they've brought more hearts together than, well, just about anyone. My wish is that my open heart design becomes a universal symbol of hope and love. Because if your heart is open, love will always find its way in.
Welcome to Idaho, where the world's best potatoes come from. Some people say it's the rich volcanic soil that makes our potatoes so special. Or maybe the pure water. Whatever it is, Idaho potatoes are a delicious part of a healthy diet with 0 fat or cholesterol and only 110 calories, and they taste great. But remember, not all potatoes come from Idaho, so always look for the grown in Idaho seal. Genuine Idaho potatoes from the best earth on earth.
Boisie State's going to win this game tonight because Ian Johnson's the man. He's going to set a record. Oh, my God, what a great first play.
Boisie State has no chance of winning this game. TCU's powerhouse offense, they have no chance, and their defense is just too good.
I think Boise State's going to win this game because TCU's key is defense, and I think Boise State's high-powered trickery offense is too good for TCU's defense.
Trick play. Trick play, Coach. No.
The Boise State fans have been delighted by what's transpired so far. 13-0 lead, getting close to halftime. Bronco offense started very well. The Horned Frog defense has slowed it down, and some improvisational skills from the freshman quarterback Kellen Moore, but the pass is incomplete. We just heard some voices of the fans on Interactive Tuesday. There's another voice of the fan being heard.
I saw that picture in the post office.
Look at that guy. You know, if a fan doesn't like me, I can get it, but don't bring a face painter out there to do that. They love me in Wyoming.
That shows you how much they are afraid. That shows you how much they're afraid of TCU, that you're their #1 enemy.
Well, let me explain what they're upset about. During one of our studio halftime shows, we were debating the relative merits of teams in the BCS, whether Boise State deserved to be there or not. Moore throws it out to Childs, and a lot of purple around there. And a body slam from Darrell Washington is in the lineup starting for Robert Henson tonight. Good stop by the Horned Frogs. We were debating whether Boise State deserved inclusion in the BCS, and relative to how they would fare in the Mountain West Conference, Mark made the comment that he thought they would lose 4 games, and here see Childs getting stopped by Washington. Okay, Mark, it begs the question, based on what you've seen from Boise State so far, are they different from what you thought, or is this isolated?
They're exactly what I thought they were.
hey, I want to tell you, they're 13-12-0 against that conference, against the Mountain West Conference. They're 12-0. They beat Wyoming 4 times. They beat Utah 3 times. BYU and New Mexico 2. TCU 1. Hey, they're 12-0. Give them credit, Mark.
This year's team against the same competition. If you look at the Mountain West Conference against the Pac-10, what they were able to do, they were dominating this year. Put TCU in that conference from top to bottom, and the non-conference schedule. I don't think week to week they could compete as they did in the WAC, because the WAC is a soft conference.
You mean Boise State? Boise State in the Mountain West. You saw how they fared in the WAC. What has gotten a little bit of attention also was Lou's admonition to the rest of the league. They need to step up, or at Boise State move to a different league because of the way they play.
Or one of two things. Or you have to schedule real tough non-conference games.
And TCU has just called timeouts on the last 2 plays. They're trying to get on the board before halftime.
And they would have one more timeout left had they not challenged the one call that cost them a timeout.
You see hobbling off is John Gott for Boise State. ABC is going to deliver an NBA Christmas special. 2 huge games, 2 of the top teams of the league, some of the biggest stars. Spurs and Suns will get it started 2:30 Eastern time. Coverage starting at 2 Eastern. GMC NBA countdown. Then the showdown. We got the Lakers and the Celtics. Celtics off to an unbelievable start. 26 of their first 28 games. They'll take on Kobe and the Lakers. It's all on Christmas Day. It'll be a great NBA matchup between those two teams. You know, Doc Rivers has talked about how difficult it's been for the Celtics in practice because everybody is giving them such a big shot in the regular season games. The intensity level, even when they go on the road to take on teams, has been tough, and the Celtics have answered virtually every challenge. Boise State punts it away and gets it on the ground, and Curley can't field it again. And it'll roll down at the 40-yard line. Last drive from TCU. We'll check in with Kevin DeGandhi now.
Thank you, Reese. Coming up at the half, the Yankees break the bank again, signing Mark Teixeira. What does this mean for the Red Sox? We'll hear from Buster Olney. Plus, we'll preview the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. Notre Dame looking to snap a long and ugly slide, and also preview Saturday's key bowl games. Jesse Palmer will join me at the half. Back to you guys in San Diego.
But going back to that big picture question that we looked at for both these teams, do you schedule tough teams like Fresno State, play tough early and lose conference games later on? Or do you schedule like Boise State, play one decent team early and then the rest of your schedule is soft?
Underneath, the pass is completed. Dalton finding Jimmy Young, his first catch of the night for a near 1,000-yard receiver. Started the night 74 yards short of 1,000 for the year. That's his first grab. The clock winding down toward a minute to go. Dalton again throwing underneath, and he's got the first down. Ging on the coverage, and Curley on the reception. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. TCU tries to get something on the board in what frankly has been a disastrous first half for them. Fresno State, though, Mark, one of those teams that they need to step up. They need to play better against Boise State to make the wax stronger. They haven't done a good job in that regard.
Yeah, but they get physically pummeled early in the season by playing such tough opponents that they can't recoup in time to play the Boise States and Nevadas at the end of the season.
But then they...
That's a two-edged sword. That's what I'm saying. That's not an excuse, but the thing is, if you're going to play an easy schedule, then don't stand up and say, well, we should be in the BCS because we didn't really schedule tough non-conference.
They played Oregon, though. I mean,
yeah, Oregon was down to one of their third quarterbacks.
But they can't control that. Fair? Is that fair? I know what you mean about that particular game, but in terms of scheduling...
Schedule USC, schedule Ohio State, schedule Texas.
Well, not many people want to play Boise State. Georgia did, South Carolina did, but a lot of teams won't.
Dalton completed a pass to Bryant for the first down. He throws right over the middle, and the Horned Frogs late in the half in the red zone now with another first down completion from Dalton.
Terrific job of Andy Dalton operating the 2-minute offense in this situation. This game is far from over.
Now on the 16-yard line. Clock now inside 40 seconds to go. TCU with no timeout. First down, they'll run the option. Remember, no timeouts. Brown's got room on the edge. He cuts it back to the inside. Aaron Brown, touchdown Frogs! And gentlemen, we have a football game.
Boise State was in a prevent defense. Some people call it victory defense. I call it a prevent victory defense. You don't really stop anything. They were playing great defense, then they get in that soft shell defense, Mark.
That was just a terrific run. I mean, there was a point in time when you saw Brown, he thought he might go out of bounds, but he cut it back, and he made sure he got into the end zone because he realized they had no timeouts left.
A confident run, Mark. That's a great point because he gets tackled, not getting the first down. Then they're in scramble mode, trying to spike the ball, but it worked out. Brown cutting back and perhaps running TCU back into the game. It's 13-7, less than a half minute until halftime.
It's a new feeling. It's a new spirit. A new life of possibilities. It's a new you rising. It's a new you rising.
Boise State University.
It's a
with a touchdown right before the half, and what a huge momentum builder it was for TCU. The Horned Frogs will get the ball to start the second half. Right now, they have to continue to slow down the Boise State offense for the final 24 seconds of the first half. Drew Combs kicking it away. Doug Martin and Jeremy Avery back. Gave that hit Avery right in the chest, and boy, that could have been absolute disaster for Boise State. Martin was there to recover it. Jason Phillips playing on special teams, defensive standout there to make the stop. You know, Boise State had the ball for 6 of the first 7 minutes of this game. Since then, TCU's had it 15 minutes. The Broncos only 6. That is TCU's MO. They control the football. They lead the nation in that category over 35 minutes. And while Brian Harsin, Chris Peterson, and that Boise offense had a great plan to start, it appears that TCU's found some answers. And Broncos are going to be content to take that 13-7 lead into the half. So Chris Peterson's team opened the game with a little trickeration on the kickoff return, and look at what Boise State did in the second quarter. Wow. Nothing on offense. TCU outgaining them 188 to -7, and it was that touchdown just before the half that perhaps gives them a little bit of momentum going into the second half. Let's check in with Todd Harris and Chris Peterson now.
This game, and then you look different in the second quarter. What was the difference?
Well, I think both teams are getting settled in. This is a good football team, and they're going to make plays, and we just got to do a better job in the red zone.
When you talk about your offense out here, you were so efficient to start the game off. How do you get back to that?
Well, we got to stay on the field more, get away from 3 and outs so we get a little rhythm going, and we're going to have to make some plays.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
So Coach Pete a little frustrated, missed opportunities, kicking field goals when they wanted to score touchdowns. It's 13-7 at the half. Let's join Jesse Palmer and Kevin Nagandi.
All right, thank you, Reese, here in the studio. Kevin Nagandi along with Jesse Palmer. And, you know, it looked like Boise State was dominating this game at one point. And then Aaron Brown, what a big touchdown for TCU.
Yeah, huge at the end of the game. And again, it's vintage offense from Boise State early in this football game that used the trickeration to get on the scoreboard. A lot harder moving the football, though, against that very tough, very stingy TCU defense in the second quarter. I really thought Andy Dalton's interceptions early in this game really hurt their chances early, obviously, deep in Boise State territory. And that really allowed Boise State to put some points on the board. But you have to give a lot of credit to TCU's defense. In sudden change situations, they were able to hold this Boise State team to field goals only, and that monster touchdown drive at the end of the half has just given TCU new life. You saw them running in at the tunnel at halftime. This team is fired up. They're ready to come out. The best team is going to win in the second half, but TCU has to do a better job holding on to the football.
Can't say enough about that play by Boise State freshman Byron Hout. 62-yard return interception, and you mentioned it before, TCU's defense, though, holding Boise State to just a field goal to make it 13-0 after that turnover. Hey, the Yankees, they're opening up the wallet once again. Mark Teixeira now is making Jesse Palmer money. How about some serious cash? $180 million over 8 years. The deal for the first baseman will average $22.5 million a season. The contract includes a no-trade clause. Buster Olney, and what this means for the Red Sox, who swung and missed on this deal.
There are a lot of great bargains available on the free agent market. Guys like Adam Dunn and Bobby Abreu, and the Red Sox undoubtedly will talk about all of them. But here's the reality. There is no player comparable to Mark Teixeira available in trade or on the free agent market. That's why the Yankees went as far as they did to sign him. That's why the Red Sox are so ardent in their pursuit of the first baseman. The Red Sox will have to hope that going into spring next year, Mike Lowell's healthy and that David Ortiz bounces back and their pitching is strong once again. That's how they're going to beat the Yankees, if they're going to beat the Yankees.
Largest total contract packages in baseball history. Jesse, what do you notice in this graphic?
Lots of dollar signs with 3 figures beside them. And a big M, yeah.
NYY. Yeah, A-Rod, then Derek Jeter, Mark Teixeira, and CC Sabathia. And you see Teixeira, Sabathia, those deals done in the last couple of weeks. The Yankees continue to pile on that payroll. Still ahead, Notre Dame losing its offensive coordinator the day before facing Hawaii. Plus, Todd McShay looks at some of the players who might make an impact beyond their bowl game. That's coming up next.
This halftime report brought to you by Prescription Flomax.
I've had asthma for 17 years.
I've had asthma for 24 years.
For 5 years. All my life.
Even with my medicine, my symptoms kept coming back.
So I thought this was as good as it gets.
Until I found out I could actually help prevent my symptoms.
I could help prevent my symptoms.
Turns out there are two main causes of asthma symptoms. Airway constriction I feel, and inflammation I may not. Most medicines don't treat both.
So my doctor prescribed Advair.
Advair treats both main causes to help prevent symptoms in the first place.
Advair contains salmeterol. Salmeterol may increase the chance of asthma-related death. So Advair is not for asthma that's well controlled on another controller medicine. Advair will not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be taken more than twice a day. Talk to your doctor about the risks and benefits of Advair. If you take Advair, see your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
If you're still having symptoms, ask your doctor how to help prevent them with Advair.
Find out how to get your first full prescription free at advair.com.
2. Raise it 2. All in. Thank you, gentlemen. Come to daddy.
Made with juicy white meat chicken McNuggets.
Oh. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, welcome! Chicken McNuggets?
Yes.
What's a party without the dip, right?
Hi, we're here for Sign and Drive.
Hi.
I just leased a Passat for no money down. She wants one too. Or a Jetta. A Passat. A Jetta. A Passat. A Jetta. A Passat.
Our new computer can match you to the perfect Volkswagen. Then you drive it away.
Signature reveals a need for safety and individuality. Perfect match. A Passat. Jetta.
This event is getting very interesting.
Sign then Drive is back. Lease select 2009 models for 0 down, 0 due at signing, and no first month's payment.
It's what the people want.
Phillips Norelco Architect, the shaver with a flexible head that pivots and rotates freely. So now you can easily get a close shave, even on the neck.
Welcome back to the Flomax Halftime Report.
Ian Johnson scoring his 58th rushing touchdown, passing Marshall Faulk for first place all time in the WAC. Boise State right now up 13-7 over TCU in San Diego. Second half on its way. Other college football news, as first reported by our Joe Shad, Miami of Ohio will name Notre Dame offensive coordinator Mike Haywood as its head coach on Tuesday. Haywood will be the 6th black coach in the FBS, third one in the MAC conference. Haywood takes over for Shane Montgomery, who was 17-31 in 4 seasons for the Red Hawks. So who is Mike Haywood? Put him on BioBlast. Haywood played wide receiver as a freshman at Notre Dame, but switched to cornerback for his last 3 seasons in the mid-'80s. He coached the running backs and was a special teams coordinator at LSU for 8 seasons before going to Austin and with the Longhorns for 2 years. He then became the offensive coordinator at his alma mater for the last 4 seasons under Charlie Weiss. Sheraton Hawaii Bowl tomorrow on Christmas Eve. Notre Dame has a chance to end the longest bowl losing streak in college football history. The Irish have lost 9 straight bowl games. They'll play Hawaii. The Warriors 5-2 at home this season. They've won their last 3 Hawaii Bowls. Okay, so Andre Ware will be a part of tomorrow's broadcast on ESPN.
The Warriors present a problem for the Irish on defense, where they'll play, talking to Charlie Weiss, will play most of this football game in their nickel package, and you'll see players like Darius Fleming, a freshman outside linebacker, get a tremendous amount of playing time. Harrison Smith will move inside and try to match up against the slot receivers of Hawaii. Hawaii, if they're able to hold up against the Irish in the run department, then that'll make for a successful game defensively, give the Irish a chance to break that 9-game losing streak that they have in terms of bowl games.
All right, you can catch that game, of course, on ESPN tomorrow night. Andre Ware on the call. And, Jesse, Charlie Weiss will be calling offensive plays for Notre Dame. Why should we watch this game at home?
Well, it's big home field advantage for Hawaii. You mentioned it earlier, 3 straight Hawaii Bowl victories. They're 5-2 at home this year. Notre Dame, on the other hand, trying to win its first bowl game since 1993 and trying to avoid a 2nd straight losing season. And Charlie Weiss is going to call plays in this bowl game. A lot of good talent for Notre Dame offensively. They're younger guys, but you look at guys like Golden Tate, Michael Floyd, Armando Allen. But the X factor is Jimmy Clausen, their quarterback. He threw 20 touchdowns this year, also threw 17 interceptions. If he takes better care of the football, I think Notre Dame comes away with the win. They go into the offseason with a winning record, and it makes those conditioning drills in January and February a whole lot easier.
Probably the biggest game Notre Dame will ever play on Christmas Eve. Maybe the first game they'll ever play on Christmas Eve. All right, Todd McShay has more on what players have a future past this bowl game.
Notre Dame has some talent on the offensive side. It's just young talent, and this group struggled down the stretch, especially Jimmy Clausen at quarterback. The big key here is how this group recovers going on the road to Hawaii in the bowl game against an underrated Hawaii defense. David Vekune is a name to know. Defensive end, he's going to be a late-round pick, I think, because of his pass rushing skills. He will affect the offense for Notre Dame. Also watch out for Solomon Elamimian at the linebacker spot and Adam Leonard, who plays a strong safety, outside linebacker hybrid position. The sad state of affairs here, though, Notre Dame's best senior prospect is David Bruton, the safety, and he will not get drafted before the 4th round. That is the reason that Notre Dame's struggling. Not enough experienced talent on the field.
Thank you, Todd. Still ahead, we look at the best from the bowl games so far this holiday season, plus an intriguing Champs Bowl featuring FSU and Wisconsin. Can the ACC make a statement this season?
Are you going to the bathroom more than ever?
You're not alone. Waking up a lot at night to go.
Stopping and starting.
Feeling that urgency? You're not alone.
Lots of guys get urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. And for many of these guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Want to learn more about your urinary symptoms? You're not alone. Talk to your doctor and see if Flomax is right for you. For a free 1-week trial, call 877-4FLOMAX. For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Nobody gives you more power than Interstate Batteries. And we have a national warranty program with over 200,000 dealers to back it up. How do we make them so powerful? Now that's a secret. Get the battery with more power in it and the most power behind it. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
So, EJ, we've designed you a signature shoe worthy of a 3-time All-American with mad smarts and 6 leadership skills. Ta-da!
There are over 380,000 NCAA student athletes.
Yeah, you got your GPA embossed, right? There.
I love it. And just about all of them will be going pro in something other than sports.
Can I get it in a loafer for casual Fridays?
Yes. Yes.
This halftime report brought to you by Prescription Flomax.
Aaron Brown's last-minute touchdown has TCU back in the game against Boise State. That's some of the best in tonight's game. Here's the best so far from the bowl games so far this holiday season.
I think he kind of came in on a mission today.
Looking to the end zone, back of the end zone, touchdown.
Greer holds it in. He gets loose to the end zone. Do it for the glory. Do it for the pride. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's rise. Do it for the glory. Do it for the pride. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Matt Grothe with the vision of a running back.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's rise. Do it for the glory. Do it for the pride. And it's picked off.
What a great block. You look so far, the Bowl Challenge Cup, the ACC getting an early victory, as well as the Big East Pac-10. Conference USA 1-1. But the ACC has a lot to prove. They still have 9 games left. Take a look at some of these weekend's games. The Meineke Car Care Bowl, leading off West Virginia, North Carolina. Jesse.
Pat White has never lost a bowl game. No quarterback has ever rushed for more yards in his career, but North Carolina's got a lot of balance on offense as well, and TJ Yates came in late in the year off an injury, played very well at the end against Duke. This, to me, is a coin flip.
All right, then you got the Champs Sports Bowl, Wisconsin taking on Florida State.
And that speed of Mickey Andrews' defense, they averaged 3 sacks a game, 13th best total defense in the country against the physicality of Wisconsin behind the running of P.J. Hill and John Clay.
Emerald Bowl, Miami versus Cal.
Well, the 2 teams really on the ends of spectrums when you talk about momentum. Miami lost their last 2 games. Cal won their last 2 games. Javid Best averaged 127 yards a game. That was 5th best in the country. This really is a home game for Cal as well.
And one thing also, that game you can see on ESPN, quarterback Robert Marve suspended by the Canes, so Ja'Cory Harris will start for Miami. Big game. Of course, you can watch that game on ESPN Saturday night starting at 8 Eastern. The second half of TCU and Boise State on its way.
I'm Jason Taylor. Whether I'm playing pro football or dancing on TV, I rely on teamwork. Kids with cancer, they rely on St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We've changed how the world treats brain tumors, leukemia, and sickle cell. And no family ever pays for treatment.
May I have this dance?
I thought you'd never ask.
Give thanks for the healthy kids in your life and give to those who are not. Go to stjude.org or shop wherever you see our magnifying glass.
Tango or foxtrot?
Whoa, freshly made pasta.
Yeah? Where'd that come from?
Made this myself.
Okay, give me some.
You know, this could come up in your review. I'm just kidding, that's crazy. Maybe.
Made fresh from your desk. Cook it, strain it, mix it, love it. New Healthy Choice Fresh Mixers.
Check out the hot bod. Keeps him fresh when he's feeling hot. You know he's got the hot bod. Give him a spray, B.O.D. Night and day, I want your bod. Bodman fragrance spray.
Oh, I just love my snuggly pajamas.
They're Sweet Pea Sue's favorite PJs.
Well, you know not every child has pajamas to wear at night.
Well, that's just not right.
But together we can change that.
Hi, I'm Genevieve. The Pajama Program and Sprout are teaming up for the Great Sprout Tuck-In. Sproutlets and their families can donate new pajamas and new books for children in need, and Sprout will pitch in too.
Because every child deserves a good night.
Good night.
The Great Sprout Tuck-In proudly benefits the Pajama Program.
At United Power, the power we send to your home comes from all over the place. So we figure it's up to us to take care of the one place we all call home. That's why co-ops all across the country are leading suppliers of renewable energy. And will continue to lead for one really good reason.
ABC returns on Christmas Day in style with the bow. First, the Spurs sleigh into the desert to face the Suns. Next, it is an NBA Finals rematch at Boston's Big Three and Kobe's Lakers. Coverage begins Christmas Day with GMC NBA Countdown at 2 p.m. Eastern on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
All right, thank you. And you have the Celtics continuing to roll right now, up by 18 points over the Sixers, under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. One side note here, Celtics going for a franchise best 19 straight wins, well on their way to picking up their 19th straight. And, of course, they are going to play on Christmas Day against Kobe, making that cross-country trip. You are looking at the half, the celebration, San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. It's coming up. Boise State right now with the lead, second half on its way.
A great moment, but Frank wasn't in the picture. He was in the men's room, going again. Another moment, but Bob really needed to go. And when the guys snapped this one, Charlie was stuck in the men's room, having trouble going. These male urinary symptoms could be due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. But for many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Get the picture? Take a moment to ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you. And call 877-4FLOMAX for a free 1-week trial. For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Miss Sharapova.
Excuse us?
Hi. Hi.
Would it be okay to take a photo?
Go ahead, definitely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Dolce. Love you.
So cute.
Can I take a picture?
Yeah, sure.
Can we lift him up a little higher?
Him?
Would it be all right if I got a picture?
Yeah, why not?
Great.
I'm right here.
Make every shot a power shot.
This is ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week.
Welcome back to ESPN's presentation of the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. Non-BCS showdown with a little BCS flair to it. Two teams ranked in the top 11 of those standings, Boise State and TCU. The Broncos with a 13-7 lead at the half. The Horned Frogs scoring in the final half minute of the first half, and they will receive the second half kickoff as they built some momentum in the waning seconds of the first half. Reese Davis alongside my Hall of Fame cabinet members, Lou Holtz and Mark May, and we'll try to get Todd Harris a position in the cabinet at some point too. But really the momentum seemed to shift, and Coach, you talk about it often. Final 5 minutes of the first half, TCU was productive.
Well, they really were. Matter of fact, with only a minute and a half to go, Boise State still has the ball in a 13-point lead. Now they go in, and they're less than a touchdown ahead.
I think what's been dominant is the TCU lines up front. If you look at what they've done running the football, 130 yards rushing the ball, but holding Boise State to 14 yards rushing on 11 attempts, and total yards, 246 to 105. That's the key. Can they continue that momentum in pushing Boise State around in the trenches and not turning the ball over? They've got 2 turnovers in the first half.
The 2 turnovers have been huge. One of them set up a Boise State field goal. The other stopped the TCU scoring attempt. Ian Johnson got touchdowns started with a WAC record for most rushing touchdowns, 58th of his career. And Boise State built that quick 10-0 lead. Byron Howell, the freshman defensive end, picked off the little dump pass from Andy Dalton. And TCU held Boise State to a field goal. That really seemed to gather the momentum. And then right before halftime, Aaron Brown going in for the touchdown for the Horned Frogs. Now, Boise State jumped out 13-0, and Johnson getting that touchdown. But TCU, their defense has been dominant, but Jerry Hughes has not been. He is not registered a tackle yet. He leads the nation in sacks.
Well, he doesn't have the numbers out there, but he does have quarterback pressures, and I think that's key on Kellen Moore to make sure that he doesn't get comfortable in the pocket. He still is collapsing the pocket and making plays. He just doesn't have the stat plays.
But TCU has a tendency to outgain the other team and lose. For example, against Utah, they held Utah to less than 200 yards through the first 57 minutes of the game. Well, they gained 414. Nevertheless, they lost 13-10 because of some mistakes, missed opportunities, such as we're witnessing again here tonight.
Very reminiscent. Those opportunities came late in the game that TCU missed, as opposed to the early opportunities in this one, but very similar in the way the halves played out in the TCU-Utah game and in the first half of this TCU-Boise State game. And the second half is underway. Stephen Hodge, Aaron Brown back to receive the kick. It will be Hodge returning for the Horned Frogs. Hodge not going to reach the 20-yard line. He'll be stopped at about the 16. Todd Harris working on the sidelines for us. Todd, what do you have?
Well, Reese had an opportunity to talk with Coach Patterson just a moment ago, and the first thing out of his mouth, you can't have turnovers against a team like that. He said, plain and simple, I don't know where they got those 13 points, but we certainly handed them a gift. He said he told his players at halftime, let's just regroup, take a deep breath. We've taken their best punches now. Now let's go out there and play the kind of football we can. And Mark May talked about it. You look at the total yards, 246 to 105, and TCU has 11 more plays. They're still in this game, however.
Touchdown late in the half doing it, Todd. And they were among the top teams in the country in turnover margin coming into this game. Dalton on the first carry of the second half. In fact, TCU was plus 13, ranked 9th in the country in turnovers coming in. And it is the turnovers that have hurt them, but they dominated in the second quarter and helped Boise State to negative yards offense.
But it's field position. Every time a TCU gets the ball, they're one of the best kickoff return teams. They're usually inside the 25-yard line. They look a long field to go, Mark.
They definitely are, but I think the key is they're going back to the bread and butter, getting positive yards, 5+ yards on first down. That puts them in a position on third down that they don't get the first down here at the dealer's choice.
Second down play, and TCU will keep it on the ground and have enough for the first down. Strong, powerful running by Joseph Turner. Mark, you mentioned going back to bread and butter. You felt like at times that the offensive coordinator, Mike Schultz, got a little bit too cute for TCU.
I definitely did, because this is a team that's built on running the football. They have 5 runners over 350 yards plus on the season. That's what you do. That's what you are. You run the football, run it first, let the defense catch up to you and dictate to the defense.
But that happens. I know when we were playing Florida in the Sugar Bowl, first half, we didn't play well. We're trying this and this.
And Dalton throwing on first down, and he hit Jimmy Young right in the hands, but he couldn't haul it in.
We went in at halftime and said, this nonsense, we're down by 13. If we're going to get beat, let's get beat playing our style football. And we gave the ball to Jerome Bettis the whole second half and won.
Hole number 6 for Notre Dame came through there, and Dalton getting a little bit of heat before he delivered this ball.
Well, he does, but he throws the ball well. This pass should have been caught. I mean, when the receiver catches this opportunity, would have been a great catch, but you got to come up with that in a big game.
I still go back to the theory, keep going to the well until it runs dry. First down, you're having great success running the ball.
TCU over the course of the season has been balanced, averaging over 200 yards running and passing. Dalton going to pull it down and scramble. It's out across the 30. Pick up of about 5. It'll bring up third down and 5. And in the first half, TCU was 4 for 8 on third down. And they've been just about perfectly balanced up to this point in terms of runs and passes.
The balance is great until you turn the ball over. And that's what's really hurting them this game, turning the ball over.
That's been the difference, and the fact that Boise State had a good offensive game plan in their first couple of possessions and put TCU's defense on its heels. On the third down play, and Dalton throwing the slant, and Young does hang on to that one, arguably a tougher catch. Kyle Wilson was on the coverage, and it'll be a first down for the Horned Frogs.
This is a great catch, Mark. He goes down there and pulls that ball right off the grass.
Jimmy Young's the best receiver on this team. He leads the team in receptions coming in with 54, but you're right, this is a terrific job of concentration, putting that big body in front of the defender.
Young now with 57 catches and just 44 yards away from 1,000 on the season. On first down, pressure for Dalton, he escapes it. Short gain out to about the 42.
But the one thing Boise State is doing is they're not giving up the big play. You know, and when it takes 15 or 16 plays to drive for a score, you're going to have a penalty, you're going to have a turnover, you're going to have a mistake, and that's what happened to TCU.
Horned Frogs are not necessarily built for many explosive plays. They've had a lot of long drives this season, as we chronicled in the first half. Lead the nation in time of possession, over 35 minutes per game. And through the opening moments, pretty much dominated time of possession in the first half. Threw into traffic that time with Dalton looking for his tight end, Shea Reagan. Kyle Ging, the linebacker, the senior from Phoenix, on the cover.
Shea Reagan's, he's got great hands, 17 receptions on the season. He's got a big body, worked the tight end position. The scouts are looking at him. He's a senior this year, could get drafted this season, but that pass was thrown behind him. That was thrown into tight coverage. If you're going to get it to your tight end, lead him a little bit where he can get those big balls out there in front of him.
TCU has converted over 50% on third down on the season and tonight, but this is a situation that's a little more vexing for the Horned Frogs. Third and long. Need 8. Dalton with a read screen, and Ryan Christian has the first down. He's into Bronco territory. He got a terrific block from the right tackle, Marcus Cannon, to spring him.
And what I've been impressed with the receivers and the running backs from TCU is their yards after contact. Once they get that ball, they're not going down by the first defender. They're running through tacklers, and they're following their blocks and picking up first down.
But Boise State is keeping their poise, stopping the big play. They're still 47 yards away from touchdown, and that's the way Boise State plays defense.
Well, 47 is better than 48.
Oh, there's no doubt. Boy, that's brilliant.
And 44 is better than 47, which technically is where they are. Well, not technically, it is where they are. Brown turning the corner on the option. Aaron Brown We made on first down. We got a flag on the play. And for two of the most penalized teams in the country, we haven't seen many flags recently.
Well, I tell you, this was really justified. If we can see the replay of it, the wide receiver cracking back on the linebacker just grabbed him and pulled him down.
Spotted him, threw him to the ground.
Holding. 88 on the offense. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
Here comes Jimmy Young. As you see, he had the block, and he did good tackle on Tim Brady.
2 points takedown. I saw that in wrestling.
The thing is, if you're going to get a penalty, make it a good one.
Well, one thing about it, was in the open. I mean, you could not. The official could have missed that if he wanted to.
So you can call holding on every play. I think you're going to call that one every time. Joseph Turner, the carry. Ellis Powers on the stop.
Boy, this is a nice open field tackle here. Both teams have tackled exceptionally well, Mark. It's been a physical football game.
They definitely are, particularly the open field tackles. You see a lot of the safeties and linebackers doing a tremendous job of wrapping up, but you don't see that a lot of times because a lot of players aren't coached to get in there and wrap up. A lot of them come in there and lead with the shoulder and try to make the big hit and don't wrap up.
And for all of the talk about the TCU defense, Boise State's ranked in the top 20 in America, 16th overall. Dalton throwing, and that one should have been intercepted. Ellis Powers had to go right through his hands.
Well, this was a lack of communication. I think he expected the receiver to break on the inside. They sent all four people deep here, Mark.
Not only that, it's great protection by the offensive line, but Andy Dalton, in every pass that's been over 15 yards or longer, he has not been on the money. He's been out of sync for some reason. There hasn't been great cooperation between receiver and quarterback.
They'll need that in all likelihood on 3rd and 14. Dalton 16 and 25. 137 yards on the night. He needs 14 to keep this drive alive. And try to get it with his feet. Dalton inside the 40. It'll be stopped short of the first down by about 5 yards. It'll bring up 4th and 5. Powers, who just missed the interception, did not miss the tackle.
Okay, Coach, your head coach. What do you call right here? Do you go for it on 4th down?
Well, I think you could go for it because your defense has been so dominating. Absolutely not. Put the ball down. You got a lot of time to go, but what we said was Boise State's defense philosophy, they let him give him a chance to self-destruct, and they did, Mark, with a 10-yard holding penalty.
Kelton, it's a right up the elevator shaft. He's going to need a bounce, and he's going to be very fortunate and get one. Ball's going to roll inside the 10-yard line and be touched dead at about the 6. And for an offense which has had a little bit of issue trying to move the ball against the TCU defense, Boise State is backed up into a hole for their first possession of the second half when you come back.
Right now, Kia's making it even easier to get into a new car by creating the biggest deal you've ever seen. For a limited time only, we're offering huge savings on our full line of quality cars, SUVs, and minivans, with up to $5,000 cash back on select models. With savings like these, we think you'll agree. It's a really big deal. Hurry in and get up to $5,000 cash back or 0% APR at the Kia Big Deal event. And check out the new Soul at your local Kia retailer.
The best gifts ever.
This year, a Radio Shack associate suggested a GPS receiver for my husband. Later, the kids tried to find Santa with it. And amazingly, it took us to this small town where we found a great little diner.
Wasn't Christmas fun? Yeah.
Chocolate kids.
The kids will never forget it. And it all began with the help I got at Radio Shack.
Everything worth listening to is now on Sirius. Right now, add the Best of XM to your Sirius subscription at Radio Shack.
Remember this place?
It's where we first met.
What about here?
Our first kiss. I don't remember this place.
You will.
The visibly brighter Leo Diamond. One more reason K is the #1 jewelry store in America.
Every kiss begins with K.
It's been a fine Sunday. You did a whole lot of yard work. Then you came in for a bowl of Campbell's chunky soup, chicken noodle. Nothing like lean meat protein after 2 hours of mowing. Fill up on the good stuff.
Introducing Braun Series 7, the world's first shaver with pulsonic technology. Over 10,000 micropulses per minute give you incredibly smooth skin. The Series 7, one of Braun's perfectly smooth gifts.
Danielle, come in. Looks like the med school scouts are out early today.
There are over 380,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of them will be going pro in something other than sports. To learn more, go to ncaa.org.
Back in beautiful San Diego for the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl, just underway in the second half. TCU had the opening possession, had to punt it away, and they pinned Boise State deep in its own end, and there is absolutely nothing doing as Stephen Hodge comes roaring through to slam Johnson to the turf.
And the safety, Stephen Hodge, has had a huge game. He's been playing sideline to sideline, but making big hits and big plays for this TCU defense. Here, look at this, coach. Just a run blitz. He just comes right through unscathed. Makes a great tackle in the backfield.
Beg your pardon, that was Jeremy Avery at running back rather than Johnson. And frankly, Johnson's probably glad of it. Never taken that kind of hit.
You take it, youngster. Go ahead. I'll get the next one.
Johnson's in there now, and he's pass protecting as Moore tries to throw in his own end zone. He's got Benny Peretta. Peretta's loose. Benny Peretta close to midfield. Peretta dragged down in TCU territory. A huge play for the Broncos.
Now, this is a fabulous call and play by the Boise State offense. The offensive line does a terrific job of keeping defenders away from quarterback Kellen Moore, allowing him to sit in the pocket, look to his defender to the right, to make sure he steps up in the pocket, to look off the first receiver, coach, gets it to his second receiver. He can wait on the route with Perez.
But the corner thought he had help on the inside from the safety, and he did not. That was a missed assignment, mental mistake.
And Johnson is that safety. He was trailing behind. The snap was to Tanyan Bissell. This time Jerry Hughes, I believe that's his first tackle of the night. Hughes, who is pass rusher extraordinaire, leads the nation in sacks, but Boise State has done a very good job containing him thus far this evening.
They definitely have, and they've double-teamed him a little bit with some backs. They've chipped on him a little bit, but usually good, relentless pass rushers, they stay with it for 4 quarters. They'll find a way to get that sack by the end of the game.
Prior to that 65-yard completion from Moore to Peretta, TCU was getting close to tripling the offensive output of Boise State, but again, right now, Boise State has the lead. They've been the team that made the important play thus far, and there's movement on the right side. Hughes came through.
Ball start, 66 offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
The center, Thomas Bird, one call for the infraction there. A little mix-up on the snap counter, bring up second and long.
And Jerry Hughes, you've got to count for him. Right here, he blows by the tackle. Look at this. Gets it to the guard, puts a little pressure on him. Here he goes around the tackle, puts pressure on the quarterback and forces him out. But right here, you think he's going to get around this one little guy? No, he gets double-teamed right there again. And they're always going to account for him. As I said, somebody's going to chip on him. Someone's going to account for him to make sure that he doesn't get a free run at the quarterback one-on-one.
That's when the rest of the team has to step up because they're only being single blocked.
Moore to throw on second down, and Hughes got there. He's thrown to Jeremy Childs, and Childs made the catch along the sidelines despite close coverage by Nick Sanders. And one of the things that Gary Patterson talked about was making Kellen Moore hold the ball for an extra beat, and really, they haven't been able to do that just yet. We'll look at it closely and see if Childs is able to haul this in.
And one half a step. That's a half a step faster. That's a sack.
Okay, Eagle Eyes, you've been all over the replays right now. Good catch?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No stoppage for review, and we're bringing up a 3rd and 3 for Boise State. Again. And there's some contact there. And here comes the flag late. Julian Hawkins, the intended receiver. He got tangled up with Darrell Washington.
If you're going to make the calls, the official make the call. But the thing is, as a defender, when you go in for a play like that,
41 on the defense. That's a spot foul, first down.
You don't wave your arms like that for 10 seconds after the play. Just act like you've been there. Don't do something like that to attract the officials to look at you and say, yeah, no, maybe there was contact on that.
Darrell Washington, who's played a lot this year. They basically have played 3 linebackers, Washington, Jason Phillips, and Robert Henson. Henson not here for this game, or not able to play after academic issues and what would have been the final game of his senior season. Another key pass interference call on a 3rd down. We saw one earlier in the game in the first quarter against TCU. And again, Boise State.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And now a penalty against Boise State. And the pass interference earlier against TCU, which we all thought was a questionable call, led to a score, one of the scores in the first half. This Interactive Tuesday. You can log on to ESPN.com, follow the instructions, and figure out exactly what to do to make your voice heard. You can also be heard literally. Voice of the fan. You can call 1-800-269-0213. We'll prompt you with questions throughout the night. Vote on our poll questions, which we've already done a few of so far tonight. We'll do a few more throughout the rest of this game between the Broncos and the Frogs. And Ian Johnson going to get absolutely nothing. At Panfill was the first of many to arrive, and Panfill came storming in there. Converted safety, now a fine defensive end for Patterson.
And that's the overall speed of this TCU defense. But you like Boise State taking a chance on this. Look at Ian Johnson. It almost looks like he was looking to throw this ball.
Well, they have
looking downfield.
They have some double passes, obviously, in the playbook, and they have a few in the game plan tonight. We have yet to see one other than the throwback on the opening kickoff. That play lost 7, and Boise State, after the 65-yard gain, has thrown it in reverse. Moore, right in the hands of Washington, who could have atoned for the pass interference, and he dropped it.
And this is one of those games where if you look at Boise State, they're making those plays. TCU's not making those plays. And I think that's the difference of the game. Well, TCU's dominated the line of scrimmage, but this is just a poor pass right here.
No, just very poor. Should have been intercepted. But the biggest difference I see, Mark, Boise State does not give up the big play, whereas TCU's given up 3 or 4 of them tonight.
3rd and 22 now facing the Bronco offense.
They just want to get in field goal position here. You don't need all 22 yards. Just get in field goal.
Long field goal this year for Washington, 51 yards, so Moore will try to help him out, and he does just that. Another fine grab by Jeremy Childs, plucking it right off the turf. Be about 10 yards short of the first down. Hughes was applying the pressure. They complete the pass and make this a more workable distance for Kyle Brotzman, the field goal kicker.
Why this field goal is so critical, if they make it, it puts them up by 2 scores again, which they spent most of the first half ahead by 2.
This will be a 38-yard attempt. Brotzman is 2 for 2 on the night. And now he's 2 for 3.
That was big momentum-wise, Mark.
That was huge.
Big.
That's one of those things where you take the ball and take it from inside your own 10 all the way down the field and put yourself in a position to make it a 2-score game. You can't execute.
So Brotzman, who has been a solid field goal kicker this year, could not come up with the 38-yard attempt, and the big play goes for naught. And it's still a 6-point lead for Boise State.
No man is an island, is how a poet once put it. Well, we're certainly not poets. We're a credit union, San Diego County Credit Union. But what we do know about is that people growing together make a community. So here's a thought for this special time of the year. Community is all about giving. Through giving, we can all grow together. It's your hometown, it's ours too. San Diego County Credit Union.
Right now, Kia's making it even easier to get into a new car by creating the biggest deal you've ever seen. For a limited time only, we're offering huge savings on our full line of quality cars, SUVs, and minivans, with up to $5,000 cash back on select models. With savings like these, we think you'll agree. It's a really big deal. Hurry in and get up to $5,000 cash back or 0% APR at the Kia Big Deal event. And check out the new Soul at your local Kia retailer.
This year, get ready for the holidays with great gifts your family can use all year long. Right now, all accessories are on sale, plus hundreds of great doorbuster items, many under $100, even $50. This weekend only, AFW is having a gigantic red tag clearance. When you see this red clearance tag, you'll know you're getting the guaranteed lowest price you'll find anywhere, online or in store. You can live better for less this holiday season.
Check the sports fan and your family off your holiday gift buying list. Purchase a Denver Outlaws season ticket for just $99 and receive a limited edition full zip hoodie while supplies last. The Outlaws are the league's most competitive team, and your season ticket guarantees some of the best seats in the house at Invesco Field for 7 action-packed games, including the annual 4th of July game with the greatest fireworks show in town. For more information, call 303-OUTLAWS or visit DenverOutlaws.com.
ESPN College Football, the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl, is brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Poinsettia Bowl and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And Kia, get up to $5,000 cash back on Kia Sedona, Sorrento, or Amante. Visit kia.com for information.
Hasn't always been perfectly played, the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl, but we are building up to some drama in the late going. 13-7 lead for Boise State. Broncos scored the first 13 of the game. Horned Frogs have it back, and Aaron Brown gets absolutely nothing. Hit in the backfield and stopped. Ellis Powers was there along with Ryan Winterswite. It is Interactive Tuesday. Our next poll question, log on to ESPN.com. Search Interactive. Excluding the BCS championship game, Florida and Oklahoma, which BCS matchup excites you the most?
The Rose Bowl. Penn State with Joe Pa against Pete Carroll's tough defense.
I don't think the FedEx Orange Bowl is going to get a lot of votes. No disrespect to those two teams. They're both fine teams, but doesn't quite have the pizzazz, but that play does. Dalton to Jimmy Young, and Young with a big gain out close to the 50-yard line, knocked down at the 47 by George Iloka. 28 yards on the pickup.
Here we're going to see him come out and do a double move there, just a stop and a go, run a corner route. Nice open field tackle here. That was a big tackle by George Iloka.
Yeah, Iloka with the stop. And how about the little pump fake from Dalton that allowed Young to run free? And here we are back in the Wild Frog formation as we see TCU running with Jeremy Curley. Curley trying to run the option. Curley slipped one tackle and gets in to Boise State territory. Now, Curley can really run it, but I don't think he can run it quite like the guy who's with Todd Harris.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you were talking about me, Reese. Sorry. Hey, LT, let's talk about what you're seeing out here. What do the Horned Frogs need to do to get back in this game?
Well, they're moving the ball well. You know, they're doing a good job going up and down the field. They got to capitalize when they get down the red zone and score points. They running the ball well. It seems like they can run the ball at will whenever they want to. So when they get down the red zone, maybe they need to run it in.
You've got a big game coming up this Sunday. It's for basically all the marbles. You guys win, you're into the playoffs. Your thoughts against playing the Broncos?
And some thoughts on Andy Dalton. Todd, we'll get it right back to you. Dalton racing inside the Boise State 20 on the zone read. And maybe LT's got the right formula, Todd, that maybe they'll run it from here. Back down to you.
Coach Tomlinson called that one up good. Now, you've got the big game against the Broncos this Sunday. You win, you're into the playoffs. What has the coach told you?
Well, you know, we know them guys very well. And so we know it's going to come down to whoever's playing the best. And we're playing good football. But, you know, this is what we want. Come down to one game. We lose, we go home. We win, we go on.
Well, you can take the running back out of Texas. You can't take the Texas out of the running back. Get a look at this footwear. That's some beautiful stuff right there. That's not Horned Frog, is it?
No, I wish it was, but it comes from Texas.
Thanks, LT. Appreciate it, buddy.
LaDainian Tomlinson played at TCU from 97 to 2000. Set the NCAA record for a single game. 408 yards against UTEP. Went for 2,000 plus when he won the Doak Walker Award. Finalist for the Heisman, came in fourth. What a great player he was for Dennis Franchione and Gary Patterson, who was the defensive coordinator under Fran at that time. Really put this Horned Frog program on the map. Curley has it. Jeremy Curley behind some blockers. Good play, and it makes it stop quickly by J.P. Nisby, the freshman out of Stockton, California.
This was the same play they ran on 4th and 1, which was unsuccessful. It wasn't much more successful here because they don't get it sealed to the inside, Mark.
And that's the offensive line, particularly the tackle, that has to make sure that that edge is sealed where there's not going to be any pursuit coming from the inside out.
7th straight drive. TCU has taken to Boise State territory. It's provided only 7 points. Dalton complete to Young. Wilson with a strong tackle, and the spot is going to be close. Going to be
short.
I think he's going to be about a half-yard short. Okay, this will bring up a 4th down. What are you doing here, Coach?
You go for it. You go for it. I hope it's not a quarterback sneak, because the other time they ran it, they got no movement up inside. Matter of fact, they have been very successful on 4th and short.
Offense is on the field. On the season, TCU 9 of 15 on 4th down. The give is to Turner, the bigger of the backs, and he's got the 1st down easily. Myron Hout, who had an interception earlier tonight, makes a stop, but he couldn't keep Turner from crossing that yellow line, and Patterson's team is on the move. Don't forget, Capital One Bowl Week hitting high gear tonight. We've also got more on Christmas Eve. Notre Dame and Hawaii. Fighting Irish trying to win a bowl game for the first time since the 1993 season, when somebody we know well was the head coach. 8 o'clock Eastern time. Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Week. Little option look, and I think that was improvised to flip out to Aaron Brown, and Boise State ate that one alive. And to make the stop again is Byron Hout, who's having a fine evening.
He's got some movement. He's not that big. He looks a little thicker than he is. He's only 6'1", 225, but what he has, he's got a great motor getting the football. He's a playmaker. That interception we saw, he's got some terrific feet, though, as you would call it the pirouette, but a lineman would call that's a spin move.
I thought that was so graceful, we were going to call it a pirouette instead.
Boy, tackle for lost yardage is really critical or damaging to an offense, and that is what has really hampered TCU today. Lost yardage and the ability to make the big play.
Dalton, quick three-step drop. Young on the slant. Young puts the ball on the ground. He couldn't hang on. He and Kyle Wilson exchanging words. Those two have spent a lot of quality time together this evening.
Kyle Wilson does a great job in coverage for being only 5'10", 160 pounds, but he's smart on this play, knows what it is, comes up and reads, and both defenders get in there and make sure that he doesn't catch the football. Smart defense.
That's two that Young has to make catch.
He started 30 straight games. He's very experienced. He was all conference last year.
Third down. Dalton, pump fake again. Now in trouble. Dalton scrambling, and he's just going to throw it away. Now TCU has no choice but to try the field goal, and that'll bring on the freshman, Burnett, Texas, Ross Evans. Evans, the only freshman who was a semifinalist for the Luke Rosa Award. Had an outstanding season. Unfortunately for Ross, 2 of those 4 misses came late in the loss to Utah. Kept TCU from putting the game out of reach. Both misses of the short variety inside the 35-yard line. This one from 32. Evans to draw his team to within 3. And he is true. And with 46 seconds to go in the third quarter, this is everything we expected. Back and forth, tough, hard-nosed football as TCU and Boise State both just missing out on BCS burst, but Andy Dalton with a terrific run to set up the field goal drive, and TCU is down by 3.
The 2009 Rose Bowl game, Penn State USC, New Year's Day on ABC.
Going to the game this weekend?
Yeah, I'm on the team.
Good one.
Get in here, son. You make this, and everybody's going to know your name, Stevens.
It's Smith, sir.
Exactly.
No one cares who the kicker is until you need it. Kind of like car insurance. Are you in good hands?
How did we do this year? Divide the results of the interactive poll by 2850. This quotient is the first component. Poll the coaches and divide that number by 1575. Throw out the high and low numbers of the 6 computer rankings, add the remaining 4, and divide by 100 to get the final component. Add these numbers together and divide by 3. That's how we did.
Right now, Kia's making it even easier to get into a new car by creating the biggest deal you've ever seen. For a limited time only, we're offering huge savings on our full line of quality cars, SUVs, and minivans, with up to $5,000 cash back on select models. With savings like these, we think you'll agree. It's a really big deal. Hurry in and get up to $5,000 cash back or 0% APR at the Kia Big Deal event. And check out the new Soul at your local Kia retailer.
Hey, football fans, now's the time to try ESPN MVP. Text trial to 7280 and manage your fantasy teams, watch live GameCast, and get exclusive commentary as part of your trial. Only on VCast from Verizon Wireless.
Next on SportsCenter, how the Yankees beat Boston for Mark Teixeira and what it means for Manny Ramirez. Plus, see if the Celtics made NBA history tonight. And after Saturday night's disaster, Tony Romo makes a vow after the game.
Back at the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. Hope you're watching a spectacular high definition. Some of the lights around this great city of San Diego. I thought I got a little shot of the Grinch in lights above one of those houses. I'm not talking about you, Mark. I'm talking about the actual Grinch from Dr. Seuss.
There could be coal in your stocking.
There might be. That wouldn't be anything new. Drew Combs kicking it away. Avery takes it inside the 15. One tackle's missed. The second one billed not.
From the 14-yard line.
Colin Jones on the tackle there. Final seconds of the third quarter. Don't forget, ABC has an NBA Christmas special. 2 terrific games, big stars coverage starting at 2 Eastern, GMC NBA Countdown. You'll see the Spurs and the Suns, and then the headliner, 5 Eastern, Celtics and Lakers, rematch of the finals last year. We saw that the Celtics during halftime of Kevin Negandhi's report about to go to 27-2. Wow. On the season. That's answering the bell. That's playing like a champion. Both of these teams, championship caliber teams, TCU coming up a little short in the Mountain West Conference title, the WAC champions, Boisie State. Ian Johnson on the ground, and Johnson's going to pick up about 8. And with that run, he'll come close to doubling Boisie State's rushing output for the night. They have 12 yards rushing prior to that play. They've made them, TCU's defense has made Boisie State one-dimensional.
But they have only given up 1 sack, and that is big. And they have not turned the football over. They haven't beaten themselves, and that's critical, Mark.
Boys, the turnovers are the killer in games. If you can protect the football, you can stay in games against anyone.
As a coach, you're sitting there saying, gee, we're not moving the football. We're at 13-10. Let's not do anything drastic to help TCU. But I promise you, if Boise State falls behind, they will do some weird things and move the ball.
Boise State has not trailed in the second half this season, and they don't trail now. The fourth quarter of this showdown between 2 powerhouse teams, 13-10 fourth quarter when you come back.
ABC, your NBA destination for a Christmas Day doubleheader.
No man is an island, is how a poet once put it. Well, we're certainly not poets. We're a credit union. San Diego County Credit Union. But what we do know about is that people growing together make a community. So here's a thought for this special time of the year. Community is all about giving. Through giving, we can all grow together. It's your hometown, it's ours too. San Diego County Credit Union.
Beep, Slate Sanchez's phone here reporting from the demolition site. Slate and the rest of the Action News team don't have AT&T, which means no bars out here on the outskirts of town. So we didn't get that call about the new blast zone, which is now here instead of way over there. I'm Slate Sanchez, and I'm about to be the news.
Switch to the network with the best coverage, AT&T. More bars in more places. Buy a quick messaging phone and get one free after mail-in rebate.
So, how was last night?
Just a sec. What's a 13-letter phrase for marriage proposal?
I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, wait, I've got it. He went to Jared.
He went to Jared.
Jared has 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores with thousands of loose diamonds and hundreds of settings to create your own one-of-a-kind ring.
I take it you told her.
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Billy Mays here for ESPN360.com. It's the live sports you want wherever you are. College football and hoops, UEFA Champions League soccer, and NBA. Even my family loves it. Log on to ESPN360.com.
Next on SportsCenter, how the Yankees beat Boston for Mark Teixeira and what it means for Manny Ramirez. Plus, see if the Celtics made NBA history tonight. And after Saturday night's disaster, Tony Romo makes a vow after the game.
I wasn't going to say anything, but Mary is like my sister. Steven is having an affair.
No. Call your friends.
Wow. Mary is a friend of ours. You better stop it. Just stop it.
And make a date.
I'm giving you permission to behave badly. You go in there and kick her.
With the women.
I think it's going to be okay, ladies.
I heard what happened. I ordered you a gimlet. I know you don't drink in the afternoon, but you will eventually, so why not start now?
The women.
New release movies are now available on demand from Comcast, the same day as the DVD.
Grandpa, you think a fly could ever go to the moon?
Sure. The ultimate adventure takes off with the original Fly Boys. Nat is the leader.
If it ain't an adventure, it ain't worth doing.
IQ has the brains.
This is beyond cool.
And Scooter has the guts.
Gross! Look out! What was that all about?
Fly Me to the Moon, available on demand.
Yeah!
New release movies are now available on demand from Comcast, the same day as the DVD.
Fourth quarter underway. Boise State, Kellen Moore on second and short looking for an all, and Jeremy Childs very closely covered by Nick Sanders. Boise State taking a shot on second and short. First play of the fourth quarter. Just what you would expect from these two teams, ranked second and third in the country in scoring defense. And both defenses have played extremely well, and Sanders played this one well, made it.
I think Jeremy Childs is lucky here. He didn't call for offensive interference. That was one of those plays where it's great position by the defense, Coach.
Well, great technique by the defense, but, you know, gaining a yard and a half is no guarantee on third down.
Boise State has missed its last 5 third down opportunities. DJ Harper, his first carry of the night, and the sophomore from Cypress, Texas, picks up the first down. Stephen Coleman making the tackle. Now, Boise State trying to extend its lead in this game, high-profile game for this early in the bowl season. Boise State trying to become the first team since the advent of the BCS to finish with 2 undefeated seasons. They did it a couple of years ago. TCU is trying to win its 4th straight bowl game, and perhaps more importantly, give Gary Patterson his 4th 11-win season. There's also the credibility issue at stake. Canyon Bissell is about to take the snap. The quarterback, he's a do-everything type of guy, receiver for Boise State. Zone read, and here's some trickery. Pettis is going to throw it. From Pettis, and it is well played and well appeared so by Coleman, but then the flags fly for pass interference.
And that's the third time tonight for TCU that they've been in that situation, but it's a great job of Chris Peterson of dialing up those trick plays, as they call gadget plays.
They say it's not a trick if it's part of your offense.
Defense number 29. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Okay, so they didn't get Coleman for it. They did get Hodge for it. 29 is Hodge.
That's because he's not playing the ball here, as per se. It really wasn't a lot of contact.
Well, that was a missed number by the official. It had to be on Coleman because Hodge was out of the play. It's the 4th first down that Boise State has picked up via the penalty tonight. They called out Hodge's number. He wasn't a part of that.
Let's remember this. Utah's going to the BCS. They beat TCU 13-10. If Boise State was more impressive tonight, they got a real strong case to say, hey, wait a minute.
This game is very similar to that. A little end around with Coretta. Gets down to the 40. Let's check in with Kevin Nagandi now.
Thank you, Reese. Here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now. The Yankees open up the wallet again, shelling out $180 million to land Mark Teixeira, the deal 8 years long. It's 19 straight wins and counting for the 27-2 Celtics. They set the franchise record with a 19-point win over the Sixers tonight. Next game, Christmas Day versus the Lakers on ESPN. Next SportsCenter coming up after the game. Back to you guys.
All right, Kevin. 2nd down and 8. Facing Kellen Moore, the freshman. Barely kept his feet, now throwing it over the middle. And it appears he had a couple of receivers fall down, and Kellen took a lick at the end. Had handful, ran into each other. 13-10, it brings up a 3rd and 8 early in the 4th quarter. It's Interactive Tuesday, and our latest poll question, excluding the BCS championship game, which matchup from the BCS excites you the most? And it is exactly what Mark thought. High-profile game, not too far away from here, Penn State and USC.
I voted with the majority there also. I've been saying all along, I think Penn State with Joe Paterno and Pete Carroll said it got great matchup.
You've got to vote before the poll is
think
not after.
Mere incidentals.
On 3rd down, Moore firing over the middle, and again some contact, and Coleman arrived, who was just called for pass interference a moment ago, and he was either right on time or got away with being a hair early.
No, I think that was a great play. What great pass protection. Look at the pocket he had. Look how he can see and throw it whenever he wants. That's tremendous offensive play. You probably wouldn't recognize good offensive play, Mark, but that was.
Offensive pass protection was outstanding, Coach.
Gurley back to receive the punt, and Mark might say they had some good offensive play in this stadium. You played the Super Bowl in this stadium, didn't you?
Hey, you played at San Diego, too.
Yeah, I played the Super Bowl here, Super Bowl 22 with Doug Williams at quarterback.
Punt again, and this time it's going to go into the end zone, and TCU will start on its own 20-yard line. 13 and change to go. It's a tight one in San Diego.
If you look at the last 6 months, I think you'll agree that the production growth opportunity that we have for us would. What is that?
That's the money you could be saving with Geico. Tell me who's watching.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
He's online! Oh no, we can call for help! What are you doing?
Billing my own Capital One credit card. I'll go with airline miles and a low interest rate. We have internet access? I'll upload a photo. There we go. I was full for 3 days.
Cheeseburger!
Personalize your card at Capital One Card Lab. Choose your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
The few, the proud, the Marines.
So your computer here can match my signature to the Volkswagen that's right for me?
Then you drive it away for nothing down.
With just a signature.
Signed and drive.
All right.
Curvaceous T indicates a love for clean lines and performance. Perfect match, Tiguan.
I like that.
Smooth strokes indicate a passion for body waxing.
That's dumb and not true at all.
This event is getting very interesting.
Sign then drive is back. Please select 2009 models for 0 down, 0 due at signing, and no first month's payment.
It's what the people want.
I say do it. In 2 days, one plan needs action.
We have to kill Hitler.
One word needs courage.
Operation Valkyrie is in effect.
One movie is being called the best suspense thriller of the year. Tom Cruise, Valkyrie, rated PG-13, Thursday.
One of the sacrifices the TCU players made coming here to this bowl game, they missed graduation ceremonies at Fort Worth, so they just had it at the hotel. 4 starters among those who got their degrees: Walter Bryant, Matt Panfield, Jason Phillips, and Blake Schluter, the starting center. I also am told that Schluter's wife, who was here to watch the game, also went through the graduation ceremonies. Senior class in TCU, 40 wins, the next win would break a record for one class. They're undefeated in bowl games, but they're in a 13-10 hole at the moment. Aaron Brown picks up a couple in short yardage. And we always talk about student athletes, and Lou and Mark up here and Todd Harris down on the sideline. And it is a unique thing, Lou, when you have the opportunity to celebrate that as a team and together.
Well, anytime you go to a bowl game, you run into midterm graduations, and we didn't have to do it to say the bowl, but I want to tell you, I had to give them off practice to graduate, and it meant so much to their parents, their family. Football was great, but getting that diploma was important.
Boisie State also playing with 21 guys who have their degrees already. Well, misdirection as Brown finds a little crease. Aaron Brown, first down and a lot more. Brown across the 40-yard line. TCU has won 29 straight games when it has rushed for at least 167 yards. They're over 200 tonight, but they trail by 3. In this game, a matchup, the only one among the non-BCS bowl games that pits 2 teams ranked in the top 15 of the BCS standings. You have some credibility at stake here. You have pride at stake. Boise State wanting to prove that they are on par with not only BCS teams, but Mountain West Conference teams as well. They've never lost to a Mountain West team 12-0.
Well, let's remember why Boise State isn't in the BCS game, part of it. Great completion. They started out unranked. They weren't supposed to be very good. They win this game. Next year, they're going to maybe be a top 15 team when the first poll comes out, whereas this year they're unranked.
Bryant making that catch, one of the graduates picking up 14.
But how about the job that Chris Peterson's done at Boise State? 35-3, 2 regular seasons they went undefeated, and the job that he's done there since he's been there has been fabulous. I mean, it's been incredible. The way that they recruit, the way that they treat their kids. They love living in Boise and the atmosphere with this program.
It's one of the reasons that Chris remains the head coach of Boise State. He certainly had opportunities. Dalton throwing deep, got a man out there, and he stopped on the route a little bit. Curtis keeps moving. He has a better chance to catch that ball.
Yeah, if he doesn't stop that route, that's 6.
But it's a very nice defensive play. He couldn't see the ball, but he didn't bang into the receiver. He waited and consequently avoided a pass interference call that TCU has been guilty of 3 different times this game.
Freshman George Iloka from Sugar Land, Texas, Boise State defensive back. George was an early high school graduate, reported to Boise last January, and has paid off a lot of playing time in his first year. Dalton to throw again. Bryant, another catch. Kyle Wilson is right there. Bring up 3rd down. Boise State, perfect so far this year. Trying to remain so. See how they've fared when they've had undefeated regular seasons. 2004 lost a great shootout to Bob Petrino's Louisville team in the Liberty Bowl. In 2006, one of the most famous games in college football history when Peterson pulled out the old Statue of Liberty on a 2-point conversion to Johnson and beat Oklahoma 43-42. And now TCU is trying to go ahead of the Broncos late. Option play on 3rd down. Dalton has the 1st down and the drive will stay alive.
What a smart play by Andy Dalton. He saw all he wanted to do was pick up the 1st down. He knew where the yard marker was, and he dives ahead forward to ensure the 1st down.
Only 1 time out of maybe 10 times has that option play not gained at least 5 yards. Very well executed. They always run into the short field because Boise State is sliding to defend the wide side of the field, making them vulnerable to that option.
3-point lead for the Broncos defense as they try to stop this latest Horned Frog push. Dalton flips the tackle, knocked down at the 31. Deron Johnson helping on the stop. The TCU quarterback is in a little bit of a mixed bag tonight. Ryan Christian. He's thrown for nearly 200 yards, getting up over 180 right now, but perhaps the biggest play, this long run. He has 76 yards rushing. He's been effective with his feet. He's not a speed burner, but he's a strong runner, slips tackles, has enough speed to make you respect him as a runner. TCU has doubled the offensive output of Boise State, outgaining them 414 to 200. Here's Christian. Moving down to the 25, it'll bring up 3rd and short, and 3rd and short is more in the Horned Frog wheelhouse.
It is, and that's what they want this offense to be, 3rd and 3 or less, Coach. That's manageable for this TCU.
Not only that, you really are looking at 2-down possibility, or you kick the field goal to tie the game, but you got 2 downs to make 3 yards.
But this has been their Achilles heel just about the entire season. In tough games and close games, they go from 20 to 20. They need to start punching it in for touchdowns in the red zone.
It is the exact same score by which they lost to Utah, a game that they dominated statistically, let the Utes score late to beat them. 3rd down out of the gun. Turner. Joseph Turner has the 1st down. He's into the red zone. And it'll be a 1st down for TCU. TCU trying to turn around the fate. Here is the game against the undefeated Utes. The TCU lost. A couple of missed field goals late by Ross Evans, the freshman, kept TCU from putting it away. And then in the final moments, an 80-yard drive, Ryan Johnson throwing the touchdown pass. It is a drive that Patterson still says he played too much base defense and still kicking himself a bit for it. He's not going to be kicking himself for this call. Joseph Turner, touchdown TCU.
What a well-conceived play. They get the 2 back, send the 1 across the track, open it up for the other back, Mark.
Oh, forget all that cutesy-poo stuff. Look at the double twin between Giles Montgomery, the right guard, and Marcus Cannon, 6'5", 350-pound right tackle. That's what gets the job done.
But 2 plays in a row, they ran the 2 back with cross buck in there and broke it open both times.
For the first time tonight, TCU has the lead. And for the first time this season, Boise State trails in the second half. The extra point is good, and the Horned Frogs have a 17-13 lead.
And the few times they have been behind in the second half, I want to tell you, Mr. Kellen Moore has played tremendous.
It's the first time they've trailed after halftime. They haven't trailed much all season, but now they've got 8:51 to try to answer what is now 17 straight points for Patterson's Horned Frogs.
No man is an island, is how a poet once put it. Well, we're certainly not poets. We're a credit union, San Diego County Credit Union. But what we do know about is that people growing together make a community. So here's a thought for this special time of the year. Community is all about giving. Through giving, we can all grow together. It's your hometown, it's ours too. San Diego County Credit Union.
Red 47. I'm comfortable in jeans that are tough. I'm comfortable in jeans that last. I'm comfortable in Wrangler. Real comfortable.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Built tough with long-lasting heavyweight denim. Built comfortable with relaxed fit. Satisfaction guaranteed. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Come on, we're late. Move, people.
Boss, we're 2 continents behind schedule.
Oh, hold your eggnog. I'm building my own Capital One credit card. I'll go with cash back and a jolly good rate.
But, sir, the reindeer are getting antsy.
Now I'm going to upload a photo from my beach house.
Mrs. Claus is a lucky woman, sir.
Yes, she is.
Personalize your card at Capital One Card Lab. Choose your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet? Let's roll.
Nobody gives you more power than Interstate Batteries. And we have a national warranty program with over 200,000 dealers to back it up. How do we make them so powerful? Now that's a secret. Get the battery with more power in it and the most power behind it. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
ESPN College Football, the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl, is brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Poinsettia Bowl and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. College Bowl games, where everybody wins. And Capital One Card Lab at CapitalOne.com. What's in your wallet?
Christmas lights in the boat parade in San Diego Harbor. It is TCU, which is righted its ship after some moments of capsizing in the early going, but the Frogs are up 17-13 after the Joseph Turner touchdown, and they've started to impose their will physically. Drew Combs to kick off. Avery will field it at the 15. Jeremy Avery finding a little running room. Good return out close to the 40. That's where Boise State will take over for the first time this season. Their offense will go to work while trailing in the second half. But just before break, Coach, you mentioned it, a small amount of time that Boise State has trailed this season earlier in the first half prior to tonight. Kellen Moore has been outstanding. He's hit 16 of his 17 passes in those situations.
He has just been brilliant when they've been behind. And you're going to see Boise State all of a sudden open it up, because when you're behind, your mindset becomes a little bit different on offense. And also, TCU's going to be a little bit more defensive, whereas they've been attacking because they've been behind the whole game.
Moore. Hughes got there, was a little bit late. Looking for Ian Johnson on the coverage of Darrell Washington.
I'll tell you what, I've been super impressed with linebacker Darrell Washington. He is a backup, but he can make plays. He's been impressive, particularly in pass coverage. He's made some big plays to that.
He's a fine athlete. He blocked 3 punts last year as a junior, and he's starting only because Mr. Henson was suspended because of academic reasons.
Washington's played a lot all season long. He was Mountain West Player of the Week for his performance against Colorado State earlier this season. Played very well in the Utah game as well, and has stepped up again here tonight in Henson's absence. Patterson saying he's perhaps the best all-around athlete on the team. Moore getting it out of his hand quickly, and Pettis out there. What a terrific grab, Austin Pettis.
This is a great catch, but also a well-conceived play, Mark.
It definitely is, Coach. And what I talked about before, Boise State steps up and makes plays, particularly in crucial situations and pressure situations, and they treat it like it's an everyday circumstance.
You know, when they test the vertical jump, Pettis doesn't always win. When they seem to throw him a jump ball, he seems to jump higher than anybody around. This one is right on the money. Moore has another completion to Pettis. Didn't have to leap for it, and now, when trailing, Kellen Moore is 18-19 on the season.
But your whole mentality when you're behind is, hey, let's let it rip, open it up, be loose, be relaxed, attack them.
I'll check that. He's only 18-20. Had one incompletion here, but splitting hairs, still 90%. Moore getting some heat. Panfield delivers a little look, and now some room for Vinny Coretta. Coretta dancing down the sideline. He stepped out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Coretta almost housed that one. Stephen Hodge perhaps getting a little bit lost. Coretta was running free.
Stephen Hodge perhaps getting a little bit tired. He's been all over the field the entire day.
Didn't have the greatest angle. Washington got just enough.
And that's that 4-4 speed from Darrell Washington, the linebacker. Just enough. All you need is a hand. Make sure he steps on that line.
He barely
talked about a game of inches.
Bet. Justin Eyelash, maybe one cleat hitting the white. Still a first down. Reverse look. Johnson has it. A flag flies in the holding zone. Johnson's headed toward the end zone. He marked out of bounds at the 1, but this one, we'll see if this is going to stand up.
Holding 76 offense.
Just your whole mindset changes when you've been ahead and all of a sudden you fall behind.
John Gott was called for the hold. That negates a 21-yard run that would have given the Broncos first and goal at the 1. Instead, it'll be first and 20 from the 32. And he had a pretty good hold on Cody Moore in there.
TCU has had trouble over the years of putting people away. Like Utah had the 80-yard drive at the end of the game.
Here is the give to Avery. First guy to hit him is T.J. Johnson inside the 30-yard line. Capital One Bowl Week continues with the Motor City Bowl Friday night. Two of the country's most unheralded quarterbacks are both dangerous. You're having a look at Dan Lefevre of Central Michigan. Rusty Smith leads Florida Atlantic. The Motor City Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Week, Friday night at 8:30 Eastern Time. Lefevre, a run-pass threat. Very dangerous for Butch Jones' Chippewa team. Last year had a 3,000, 1,000 campaign in that spread offense. 2nd and 17 now for Kellen Moore and Boise State. Moore throwing for the end zone, and Jeremy Childs, and the flag is coming again. This one might be a hold rather than interference. Stephen Coleman was covering Childs. And TCU.
Pass interference, defense number 4. That's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Pass interference because the ball was in the air. Here's Childs, and
that's a good call.
Yeah,
that's
no
a great call
about it. He reached out and grabbed him. He was beaten on the play. And TCU last in the nation in penalties. Most penalized team in the country, 119th. They're penalized for the 6th time tonight. 5 of those giving Boise State a first down.
It's 2nd down and 20. Why are you worried about an 8-yard hook?
Now they have to worry about DJ Harper. Harper hit hard by James Best.
What I like about this drive, the frenetic pace of Boise State. Get in the huddle, get out of the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, run the plays, keep the pressure on the TCU defense.
But you go back and you're used to winning, Mark, and you've played on many championship teams. There's just a mindset that no matter what the situation, you're going to keep your poise, you're going to find a way to make plays.
And you practice those situations where you're behind in practice, well, these are the plays we're going to run to catch up and win, guys.
2nd and 8. Moore firing again. Jason Phillips is on the coverage against Tommy Gallardo. It'll bring up 3rd down.
I am really impressed, though, with the overall protection that they have given Kellen Moore.
I'll tell you what, this is a terrific job by Jason Phillips in coverage right here. turns around and reaches out.
Hodge coming on and another variety of the blitz out of this 4-2-5 defense. And guys, this is just what you wanted.
Yeah.
5.5 minutes to go. 3rd down and 8. Boise State trailing by 4.
Playmakers need to step up right here.
Moore under heat. Hughes is there. He's got him wrapped up.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the protection that he has gotten.
And Coach, left guard Nate Potter should have been called for a hold. He had him around the throat. But he still couldn't stop him.
Hughes leading the nation in sacks. Gets there for the first time tonight.
What I say about playmakers stepping up and those relentless pass rushers, by the end of the game, they're going to find a way to get that sack, that big play of the game.
Cody Moore was there to help, but Boise State down 4 can cut it to 1. Under 5 minutes to go. Kyle Brodsman 2 for 3 on the night. This one coming from 33 yards out. Brodsman. Perfect. A 1-point game. Everything's been advertised to be and a little bit more. 4:47 left to go in the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. TCU has a chance to answer.
The best DVDs from ESPN Home Entertainment in stores and at ESPNShop.com.
What do I do?
This is lunch?
Yeah, I need you to talk me through it the first time.
You need me to talk you through add water, microwave, strain, and stir?
Whoa, what is that, Japanese?
Made fresh from your desk. Cook it, strain it, mix it, love it. New Healthy Choice Fresh Mixers.
Hi, we're here for Sign and Drive.
Hi.
I just leased a Passat for no money down. She wants one too. Or a Jetta. A Passat. A Jetta. A Passat. A Jetta. A Passat.
Our new computer can match you to the perfect Volkswagen. Then you drive it away.
Signature reveals a need for safety and individuality. Perfect match.
A Passat.
Jetta.
This event is getting very interesting.
Sign then Drive is back. We select 2009 models for 0 down, 0 due at signing, and no first month's payment.
It's what the people want.
Quitting with Nicorette has never been cooler or brighter, thanks to the whitening power of new Nicorette White Ice Mint Gum, the stop-smoking gum that helps tackle cravings and whitens teeth as you use it. New Nicorette White Ice Mint. Experience a brighter way to quit.
When I was planning my family's holiday budget this year, I planned on American Furniture Warehouse. Did you know that you can shop AFW for thousands of holiday gifts and have them delivered to friends and family across the country? Save on blowout specials on all categories: living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. This weekend only, AFW is having a gigantic red tag clearance. I know that I'll always save money at today's AFW.
Straight talk, no bull. That's what you get at Ed Bozarth Chevrolet. The lowest price, quality, value, service, selection, location, and save up to $16,000 on GM certified program cars. 2008 Chevrolet Impala, Uplander, or Pontiac Grand Prix as low as $12,988. The #1 most trusted name in automobiles. Ed Bozarth Chevrolet at 2 locations: 2001 South Havana, Denver, and 4 blocks west of the Park Meadows Mall.
Thank you.
I think Oklahoma with the running back out, probably Florida's the better team, but I still think Sam Bradford's a good enough quarterback they could score on every possession.
I don't think Oklahoma even stands a chance. Florida from the SEC, they're tough, they're gritty. They're going to just kick Oklahoma all over the floor.
Boomer Sooner. They're going to rock and roll the Gators like they have never been rocked before. 48-28. Boomer Sooner.
The opinions on Interactive Tuesday about who will be #1, Florida or Oklahoma. Boise State and TCU in a terrific, hard-fought game here in the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. And, Coach, you believe that we're seeing 2 top 10 teams regardless of outcome here tonight?
I definitely believe these are 2 of the best teams in the country. They're playing their heart out. It's a very physical game. Very well played, hard hitting.
Aaron Brown, dangerous kickoff return man for TCU, struggling to the 25-yard line. 4.5 to go, a little more than that. Let's check in with Kevin Nagandi.
Hey, Reese, we already had 2 college basketball upsets tonight. Gonzaga and Xavier going down. On ESPN2 right now, #8, Texas trailing Wisconsin by 3 in the second half. Wisconsin has won the last 3 in this series. That game on ESPN2. Back to a great game in San Diego.
No question about that, Kevin. Wisconsin, tough place to play, and we do have a terrific finish coming for you. 4:39 left. TCU with a 17-16 lead, and the Frogs have hurt themselves with turnovers tonight. They'll need to take care of the football. Joseph Turner, who scored the last touchdown. Short game. Joe Bazikovic. First time we called Joe's name tonight. He's there to make a stop. Bring up second down.
So, Coach, if you're Boise State, do you take a chance and put 8 or 9 in the box to make sure you stop the run, or do you just play your sound, solid defense and can play the entire game?
Well, you have 3 timeouts. What you want to make sure is risk it when you need it. In other words, don't just play good, solid defense. Try to get a little penetration here, but don't sell the safe. Don't sell the farm. You don't need to.
Dalton to throwing, and throwing into traffic, and a terrific grab along the sideline by Shea Reagan. Reagan, the senior tight end, the pro scouts are really high on, makes a terrific grab and got a foot down.
TCU has always had a history of good tight ends that can make plays. And right here, Shea Reagan makes one excellent play, catching the ball, coming down with it inbounds, using that big body to shield it away from the defender. Look at that. Nice.
Horned Frogs picking up the tempo on offense. A little back to Turner on the ground, and not much.
But here's the thing with the rule changes in the clock. You know, there's a timeout now. But they snapped the ball with 25 seconds to go. They could have used up another 25 seconds on that.
Because I think they thought that play might have been out of bounds. It was very close on the sideline.
Oh, I agree with you.
Very good point, Mark. Excellent point. From our vantage point, that was the sideline right in front of us. Okay, so they did.
This play is under further review.
Okay, John Bible. Mark, you've been right on the money tonight, by the way, but they the replay booth called down before that last snap. So had they gotten the play off, would not have been able to review whether Reagan came down in bounds. It happened on the sideline in front of us. It was difficult.
Well, no. It happened in front of the TCU sideline, which was really
Here's
complete.
a good look at it.
That's close.
It's tough to tell from that angle whether the toe hit the white. Maybe we can see from here. I think he's out of bounds.
But no, I think it's too close to call.
No, the official is right there.
Yeah.
Both of them are looking at it right there. They made the proper call because he ruled it incomplete. It's not like they were looking off.
No, he ruled it complete.
Yeah, I meant incomplete.
Let's see what they said. It was a long way away. The vantage point there was tough to see. It looked as if his toe might have hit the white, but it was hard to see from there. Remember, the overturn has to be conclusive.
Right, and I think at those angles, I don't think it's conclusive.
But notice the official's looking right there, right down. He's got it right down. Nobody's in his point of view. You can't overrule that.
Do you want the official call?
Yeah.
First down,
After further review, the play stands as called on the field.
I'm telling you, Reese, you just have to listen to me. Nice call, Mark.
And so now they'll be able to wind that clock, picking up the first down with a fine catch by Reagan.
But they got to put more time back on that clock.
And that is what right now, Big 12 official, referee John Bible going over to have a word with the replay booth about that very issue. Okay, now, you're looking at this 3:41 to go. You're down by 1 point. What are you trying to do on defense right now if you're Boise State in terms of strategy? You're sending the house. What are you doing?
Number one, you'd like to get a turnover. Number two, you have to understand that they're going to be very cautious on offense, and you aren't going to be faced with any trick plays or something along that line. They aren't going to throw inside. So you know offensively they're going to be limited, but so you can pressure.
So they're putting a few seconds back on the clock. The announcement, I believe, 4:04 is what they're
24 seconds more they put on.
So, Mark, now you look at this, and TCU has to make sure that they maintain their aggressive nature, but first and foremost, they have to avoid the turnover, which has really hurt them.
Well, I think Boise State knows it's probably going to be a run. Chances are I would go with a play-action pass, drop it off to the back, dump it off to the back for tight end, and pick up yards because you're going to have a lot of guys in the box.
Give is to Turner, and it gets up across the 40-yard line.
If I'm on offense and say we don't want a turnover, we want to get a first down, but the worst thing that's going to happen is when Boise State gets the ball, they're going to have no more timeouts left. No more timeouts left. That has to happen.
Clock is still running inside 3.5 minutes to go. Second down right now facing TCU. Who fell behind. The early going 13-0. They've rallied to take the lead and stands at 17-16. Waning moments here in San Diego. Dalton keeps it. ride with Ryan Christian, and Dalton's going to be a couple of yards short of the first down.
I don't want to criticize anybody from up here because these players have played hard out. But there was 18 seconds left when the ball was snapped. I mean, they could have taken that way down inside 240.
Boise State will try to get the stop here, and if they don't, then they'll have to start using the timeout.
And this is a huge play for both teams right here. If TCU can go with their jumble, they've got 2 tight ends in there, and just knock Boise State back, they probably win this ball game, but Boise State needs to come up with a play defensively right here.
Hurley's in the backfield. We've seen him run this play on short yardage a couple of times. It hasn't been successful until now.
This is close. This is a right foot, left foot spot.
He made it. He made it.
Let's see Lewis coming strong in the final moments. Justin Watts got out there and had a nice block.
But I still question it. It's 3rd and 1. You're in situations like this. Why are you running laterally? Get both tight ends in the game. Hit them right in the mouth. You outweigh them up front by an average of 60 pounds per man on the offensive line.
That's the 3rd time they've run that on short yardage. It's the 1st time it's been successful, and I agree with you. Well, Mark, usually your left tackle isn't your best run blocker. Oh, what'd you play?
I played all of them. All of them. I thought you were my boy, Lou.
You are, Mark. You know, that's why you're an Hall of Fame. I'm just mad I didn't get a chance to coach you. You'd be different.
So now Chris Peterson's team has to start worrying even more about the clock. All 3 timeouts remaining for Boise State. But of even more importance, they have to stop the Horned Frogs from moving. Again, still some time left on the play clock when Dalton snaps it. Brown gets into Boise State territory. And Boise State using its first timeout. Preston Phillips lost a hat in the middle, so 2:06 now remaining for Chris Peterson's team. Got a great finish here in San Diego. 2:06 remaining, a 1-point game when you come back.
It'll be a better.
6,800 student athletes. 1.7 million fans. 34 world champions. College bowl games, where everybody wins. Brought to you by the Football Bowl Association.
I'm sorry, my signing still isn't very good. I learned a new sign to show you. Merry Christmas.
This Christmas at Kay, save 25% on Bulova and selected fine watches. That's just one more reason Kay is the #1 jewelry store in America.
Do you like it?
Every kiss begins with Kay.
At Outback. Get a free $20 bonus card when you buy $100 in holiday gift cards.
Philips Norelco Architect, the shaver with a flexible head that pivots and rotates freely. So now you can easily get a close shave, even on the neck.
It's been a fine Sunday. You did a whole lot of yard work. Then you came in for a bowl of Campbell's Chunky Soup. Chicken noodle. Nothing like lean meat protein after 2 hours of mowing. Fill up on the good stuff.
For a bowl game this early in the postseason, the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl got a lot of hype, and it's lived up to it for nearly 58 minutes. A 1-point lead for TCU against Boise State. Horned Frogs have the ball 2nd and 6. Boise's being forced to use timeouts in a desperate attempt to get the ball back. Andy Dalton slammed down by Kyle King. It'll bring up a 3rd down and a big one for the Broncos as they use their 2nd timeout.
It's been a great game. Very physical football game, but I think that they come out of this game with great respect for each other. I mean, there's been no showmanship, there's no been hot dogging, just good, hard, sound football with a lot of respect for each other.
1-point lead. Ian Johnson hoping to get one more chance to have his career end on a high note. This is what we have coming up on Capital One Bowl Week. The Sheraton Hawaii Bowl is next up. Hawaii and Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish have lost 9 straight bowl games. Motor City Bowl, Meineke Car Care Bowl with West Virginia going into the postseason for the 7th straight time against Butch Davis in North Carolina. And the Champ Sports Bowl also on the 27th of December, Wisconsin and Florida State. The Seminoles going for the 27th straight time. Now the question, since you know Boise State is going to use the timeout, will they throw it to try to put the game away? They will. Dalton almost intercepted Brandon Thompson. On the coverage receiver, Jimmy Young slipped down. So the clock stops without using the last timeout. The gamble doesn't work out, and Boise State will have a chance.
They'll have a chance. That timeout's big. As I said, you wanted to leave there knowing that Boise State would have no timeouts left, Mark.
But this game is the barn burner we thought it would. 2 Titans from different conferences coming here wanting to gain national respect. Both of them playing hard. But what a great defensive game plan on both sides of the ball for Boise State and TCU.
Punt is away safely. Kyle Wilson has returned 3 for touchdowns this year, but this one will be fair caught at the 17-yard line. And now 83 yards separating Boise State from a perfect season.
A minute 53 and 1 timeout left is a lifetime. And remember this, they only need a field goal to win.
That field goal from Brotzman, looming large. They can just get into field goal range. They'll have a chance to do it without covering the entire 83. Sports Center coming up just as soon as we're done. Mark Teixeira, an even richer guy, come to terms with the Yankees, the Celtics making history, and Tony Romo making a promise. The guys will have it all for you coming up as soon as we're done here in San Diego. Kellen Moore, the redshirt freshman, throwing it out into traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephen Hodge.
They got pressure. They went with the blitz. They played man coverage, forced a poor throw, Mark.
This is the first time you saw Kellen Moore, the quarterback, really get out of his comfort zone because the blitz came and the pressure came. And you've got to take your hat off to defensive coordinator Dick Bumpus of TCU of dialing up pressure in this situation, not playing soft and safe.
Hey, Stephen Hodge is great on the blitz. He's done a little bit of everything this year, but what a time for his first interception of the season. And a nifty catch. Hodge has had a spectacular night. 11 tackles, 9 of them solo, 3 tackles for loss, and that interception which absolutely breaks Kellen Moore's heart. Turner, the carry, protecting the football. Boise State with just 1 timeout remaining. And they'll use it here. So a matchup of 2 teams in top 11 of the BCS. The only non-BCS bowl game to have that type of distinction. Higher ranked teams in terms of the BCS, even than the FedEx Orange Bowl. 2 teams who have established themselves as perennial contenders to make it into that BCS mix. Both have proven capable of playing with the big teams and at times beating them. And tonight, they went toe-to-toe. And barring some unforeseen circumstance, the Frogs are going to come out of here, Mark, with a 1-point victory.
And even with the turnovers they had earlier in this game that really put them behind the 8 ball, they found a way to manage to score just before halftime and gain the momentum and then take over a little bit of control in the 3rd quarter by scoring there also.
Well, it's just been a great game. There are 34 bowl games. This was supposed to be the 4th best bowl game that's lived up to the expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, the hitting has been fierce. The respect has been tremendous for each other.
Both defenses played their guts out. The offenses both had their moments for sure. Turner carries it again. He gets close to a 1st down, and Boise State is out of timeouts, and they'll just be desperately trying to strip the football away from the Horned Frog runners here.
I think when you look at this game, you really have to give it to the offensive line of TCU. The way that they were able to dominate the line of scrimmage over 270 yards, rushing the football in this game, particularly in the second half. They did it well in the first half and the second quarter, but the second half, when they had to run the ball, they did.
Our Capital One player of the game is Stephen Hodge. I've detailed his stats a few moments ago. Double figures in tackles, 3 tackles for loss. He had a sack, and he had the interception, which appears to have given TCU a great chance of winning. Now a slip in the backfield by Turner, and Boise State wants him marked down, and that is where he's going to be marked down. It'll bring up 4th down, and the play clock is winding, and there is about 7 or 8 seconds discrepancy between the play clock and the game clock right now.
I have been so impressed with TCU's defense. They are physical, they're fast, they're good. Oklahoma put 35 points on the board. The only team to ever score more than 14 on TCU this whole year. That tells me Oklahoma really has a good chance against Florida, but not necessarily the best.
And Oklahoma.
I love those definitive statements you make.
I give you a definite maybe.
Oklahoma averaged less than 1 yard per rush against this defense. It's a play clock now. Hits 1, and Dalton calls a timeout. And there's 9 ticks left to go, and it's a 4th down. And TCU will try to run out this last 9 seconds, one would assume, before taking a knee and making sure that they don't turn the ball over. And obviously can't risk any kind of kick here or anything like that.
No, but I think they will run a wide play to try to use up the 9 seconds. If I was me, I would drop back as long as I could. Well, I don't always want to be me, but I would drop back. I'd throw the ball as high as I could and let it come down outside the end zone.
And if you held the ball long enough, that would eat up the 9 seconds?
That's right. And if you throw it high enough and far enough, it'll use up the 9 seconds.
As Oklahoma learned in the Fiesta Bowl a couple of years ago, it's not wise to give Boise State any time of opportunity.
Absolutely.
To try to pull out one of those gadget plays. They did so famously. They're in a safety formation, and Dalton will try to run around and run out this clock. He's staying on his feet, and he slides to the turf. 6 seconds to go, and at least Boise State will at least be able to toss it up. And there have been some pass interference penalties on TCU tonight, very costly ones. So
I think there was 7 seconds left in Oklahoma when they ran that flea flicker.
That's exactly right. 7 seconds. Now they have 6. Have a little bit more ground to cover. That was a 50-yard play. This one is from 67 out. They just need to get into field goal range, but there doesn't appear to be time to do that, barring multiple pass interference penalties. And TCU is lined up back near the border to Mexico. Try to make sure. Here is the attempt at the same play. Use against Oklahoma, and Matt Canfield takes the lateral, and TCU wins it. You think these two teams didn't want to prove a point?
Is that exciting?
Look at the jubilation for the Horned Frogs. Their 4th straight bowl win. 4th time in the last 6 seasons that Gary Patterson's team has won 11 games.
And the seniors win more than any senior class in the history of TCU.
Their 41st win in their career. Chris Peterson finishes with a 12-1 record and nothing to be ashamed of. His team was supposed to be rebuilding this year. Had a perfect regular season for the 2nd time in 3 years, and TCU wins at 17-16. Todd Harris is with Gary Patterson.
Coach, you were down 13-0 at one point. You told me at halftime, you told the kids just take a deep breath. That must have been one heck of a halftime talk. What was the pivotal moment in tonight's game?
Well, I thought when we survived, nothing really went good for us, and we were only down 13-7 halftime. So we had the ball. I told them we need to come out and play. We needed to tackle better, and we needed to play well in the red zone on offense, and we did all the rest.
You know that Boise State has a propensity to do what Reese Davis likes to call trickeration. How do you get your kids ready to play that? And they really didn't fall for any of them tonight.
Well, they still had us on a couple plays. Boise State is a really good football team. You know, we feel very fortunate to win this ball game, but this is a proud moment for TCU, all the state of Texas, and on a night when no one else played, we're glad we're here.
How important is this? You know how the BCS game is played going into preseason polls. What will this do for your program?
Well, you know, I think it just shows one more. We just keep trying to climb the mountain. We're not at the top of the mountain yet, but this is one of those stuffs where you climb a little bit higher. And you know, I'm really proud of my kids and all the things they've been able to do. This senior class, you know, 41 wins, the most in the school's history. I don't know what else you can say about them. I mean, I'm so blessed to have had a chance to have it. Great coaching staff. It's just a great job.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks.
Reese?
All right, Todd and Patterson's team followed it.